How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere. I'm messing the whole thing up. Hold on. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, California wildfires are still raging, out of control. Everybody pointing the finger. Karen Bass, the LA fire chief. How do you have two bull daggers and one regular normie lesbian in leadership at LA Fire Department? Who knows? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, President Donald Trump has been sentenced in the Stormy Daniels hush money kangaroo court ridiculous banana republic trial. And of course, he didn't get any real punishment except for saying the media can say that he is a convicted felon. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jimmy Carter's funeral was pretty interesting. Quite a few characters there. A lot of kikiing, as the cool kids say. A lot of brown nosing and all kind of whatnots happening there for Trump, but not too much for Vice President Kamala Harris. Is she still the vice president? If so, I can't tell. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the party girl mayor, 64 trips in under 4 years. Where are you going? What's happening? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we got a whole lot going on. The fires. Hey, before I begin the show, if you're in the zone, Southern California, where there's fires going on, I pray that you guys are safe, that your family is safe. I got a cousin out there. I text her like, hey, you good? Like, what's going on? She's straight, but some of her family members had lost their home. So, hey, prayers out to you guys. But yeah, it's pretty rough out there in Southern California. Obviously, a lot could have been done to prevent this, and they didn't do it. You have no water in the actual fire hydrants because there's no water in the reservoir. Why? Because they drained the water in the reservoir to make a simple repair, and the repair never got done despite the people who were supposed to pay it got paid $130,000. Okay, so the water reservoir been offline for a long time. They knew that it was offline, didn't tell anybody. You're cutting money from the fire department. Meanwhile, you are promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. You got two bull daggers and one normie, regular librarian, used book collection reader, lesbian in there. What are we talking about? Firefighting? I said in my video that firefighting is like 80-90% male. Actually, it's 95% male, and it's probably 95% white male. Now, is there anything wrong with that? I think not. Hey, if it's mostly almost 100% white males that want to go out there and fight fires, then so be it. Do you know that 70% of firefighters are unpaid, volunteer firefighters? They rely upon your donations to be able to go out there and fight fire, risking their life to protect their community. If it's going to be 95% white males, then so be it. Why must we try to intervene with that? Same thing, like I said, with the NBA. The NBA obviously is majority black male. If you took away the Europeans, the white American males, it'd be very rare in the NBA. Again, NBA, majority black, African-American, African. You got black in general, okay, wherever you come from. You got Ryo Hachimura. This dude is black, but just speak Japanese, right? I mean, that is the majority of the NBA. And then you got these big 8-foot-tall Euros like Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Okay, guys that got 15 consonants in their last name with no vowels. You understand what I'm saying? But how many JJ Redicks are in the league? White American players. It's a rare thing. And it's okay. It's okay. It is okay. There shouldn't be a push to get more of this person or that person or that person in there. May the most dominant, may the most talented people rise to the top and succeed. Same thing with nursing. Okay, 90% of nurses are women. Maybe because women are better at nurturing, they're better at being able to understand what people need. They are the bringers of life, they're the nurturers of life. So naturally, they'll probably be better at that type of role. It fits more into what they want to do. It just makes sense. Why must there be some kind of push to have more male nurses? I don't get it. And I'm probably willing to bet that most of your early education, like K through 2, K through 3, are going to be women. Why? Because they're better at dealing with small children. The needs of children that they can't really communicate, they can connect with them on an empathetic and emotional level. Now, when the kids get to be older, that's when you probably would have a better luck. You probably would have better outcomes with more male teachers. That's just biology. That's just nature. That's just science. It is what it is. Ain't no point in getting offended by it. Ain't no point in getting offended. It is what it is. But yeah, Southern California, hopefully you guys are okay. Hopefully you guys are out of the fire zone. And your people, we're going to get to all of that later. We're going to get to the whole fire situation later. But California, the governance, ridiculous. Gavin Newsom, a mess. Karen Bass, a mess. All of them, a mess. Wokeness, diversity is going to be the death of us. It is what it is. All right. But yeah, we got a whole lot going in. We got a whole lot going on. And yeah, shout out to the firefighters. Y'all know my dad was a firefighter. I knew everybody involved. Shout out to the battalion chief, the big boss, the police chief. I knew all of them. These were strong males. And just by happenstance, the chief that I knew back then was a black male. The police chief and the fire chief, black male. The battalion chief, black male. My dad was a captain. It just happened to be black because you're in Virginia where it's a high black population. If I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, or somewhere like this, probably going to be 100% white male. So what? So what? When you have a fire and your house is burning down and you got your kids stuck in there, are you going to care what color the firefighter is who rescues your daughter and your wife? I think not. I think not. And if you do, you got a mental problem. If you are like, whoa, hold on. You're a white male. Don't run in that burning building to save my mama. You're a white male. Don't do that. If you do that, you need to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks little. Not even the loony bin. You need to go straight to the federal penitentiary. Be right there with Puff Daddy. Have a Diddy party in the penitentiary if you do something like that. All right, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered already. But we're going to get to all of that in a minute. But first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to everybody here watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But also, shout out to the sponsors. You guys, of course, are the first sponsor, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. Go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and I'll have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it as long as it's legal right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. All my links, of course, will be in the box. And, of course, go to the contact page on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. Yes, I am 1,001 years old on TikTok, but it's fine. I'm over there. I just went viral recently on TikTok. Well, kind of viral. A video hit like 200 and something thousand. And, you know, you got the mouth breathers on TikTok calling me all types of N-words, basically Uncle Toms and everything else. But I'm used to that, you know. If they could read my website, they'd really be upset at what they see. But, you know, they got the education level of a 5-year-old at 27. That's TikTok. if you guys use TikTok, I ain't talking about y'all. You guys are really brilliant and keep me sharp. But the majority of them over there, I mean, I'm talking about dumb as a doornail. But anyway, I'm on all social media platforms. Please follow me there. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not, a big red flag would be someone commenting on your reply to my video in the YouTube comment section saying that they're me. They may have my name, they may have my face, but I'm here to tell you it's not going to be me. And if it was me, for example, I'm not going to ask you for any kind of personal information. I ain't got you for your address and your all kind of extra sensitive information. I'm not going to ask you for that, nor will I say, hey, you know what? I know how to invest in Bitcoin, Forex. I'm just not going to do that. I don't think anybody will do that if they are being serious on the internet. All that is a way to try to scam you and take all your monies. We don't have time for that in this year, 2025. Nobody has time for this scamming. Nobody has time to get robbed, no pistol, bare face by some dude living in a hut with 1,000 other dudes in Lagos, Nigeria. We don't have time for that. Nor do we have time for all these guys with 15 consonants and no vowels in their last name in Eastern Europe, covered in porch, head to toe, 1 million pounds. We don't have time for that this year, 2025. All righty. So shout out to you guys. Hey, yes, I am safe in the snow, Spawn. Thank you. The snow here was pretty chill. I mean, it snowed here a little bit, but it was just pretty. You know, people like little kids are outside making snowmen, and that's pretty much it. A lot of the snow on the road is pretty much gone. I say by tomorrow, it'll pretty much all be melted. They got the main arteries good. My neighborhood roads are good. So it's nothing like what I experienced in Virginia back when it started to snow a lot. One year, I was snowed in for like 3 days. I'm talking about it had to have been 2 foot of snow. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was pretty cold and the snow stuck for a while. You couldn't get out of the neighborhood. They had the main roads salted and everything and plowed, but not the back roads. The back roads where my house was or my apartment, that was all just ice, snow. It was a mess. I was able to go to the store back then by walking through the cut. But yeah, it was crazy. Out here though, it was a nice little dusting. It was fun. I would have loved to have been in the city of Atlanta during the snow. Man, they brought out, people had snowboards, skis. One dude had a cardboard box and had his little dogs out there using them as a dog sled. Like, they were doing a whole lot. So shout out to you guys. If you're able to have fun in the snow, please be safe out there on the roads. All right, no snow here, Richard. Hey, man, you know, it's unfortunate. We got a white post-Christmas, and that's fine. Griselda says, it's only a little bit where I am, but nothing major. Same here. 65 degrees where you are, Tony. Must be nice. I think by tomorrow, it's supposed to be like in the 40s. So obviously, you're well above freezing. You're well above the freezing point, so the snow will melt. Basically, it'll be pretty much all gone by tomorrow, in my humble opinion. But it was cool while it lasted, because it doesn't snow here much at all. I don't think it snowed at all last year. I've been here since 2017. I could count on one hand the times that it snowed. All right, and it never really stays more than a couple of days, which is cool for me. I like having the variation in the seasons, but at the same time, I like how we don't have intrusive snow that gets in the way of being able to move around, travel, and doing what you want to do. So yeah, Sunday, 44 degrees in the daytime and sunny. Yeah. And then Monday, 47, Tuesday, 45. It's going to be in the 40s all week. So by tomorrow, it'll probably all be gone. Texas got snow. Wow. And Rock says Miami, no snow since 1977. I'm surprised it ever snowed in Miami because you're basically in a tropical place. Hey, Miami, listen, Miami, the humidity level in Miami is off the charts. It is off of the charts. I'm like, what is going on here? So you go off the air, like you go fly into Miami, and you get off the airplane. You come out of the airport, you sweating immediately, instantly. And you're not really sweating. You kind of just are hot. It's just hot. So that's kind of what's going on with that. You're not even really sweating. You just get steamed. It's like you get put in the dryer. I can't even really describe it. Yeah, instantly you're wet because of all the humidity, the moisture in the air. All right, we got a whole lot going on. There's a lot I want to get to. And again, shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. Did it snow in Virginia? Chesapeake, Virginia? Okay. So shout out to the snow out there in Virginia. Yeah, Mom told me that it was snowing in Hampton first, and then it didn't snow in Chesapeake. So I guess now we got snow in Chesapeake. All righty. Somebody says global warming to 77. Exactly. But now, back then they called it global cooling. So if it snowed in Miami in 1977, back then, Al Gore would have said that's an example of global cooling, because that was the thing. To all you youngins out there, here we go. Old man Logan, basically. Shout out Wolverine. Back in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, there was a scare about global cooling. Oh, it's getting too cold. We're having these cold winters, cold snaps, snowing in Miami. Must be global cooling. Then it became global warming. Then there was this phase in the 90s. They're talking about acid rain and the ozone layer, fear mongering. They said, hey, and you know what? It's funny thinking about it now, using my brain now at 40 years old, thinking about what they said to us when we were little kids. Now it's funny. Back then they were telling us that spray paint was causing a hole in the ozone layer. And if we keep spraying spray paint, like, tagging murals and graffiti, that we were going to kill the planet. That's what they said back then. Now, if you are 25 years old or younger, have you ever heard about something like that in your life? No, you haven't. But we heard that back in the 90s when gangster rap, all that kind of stuff came about. The B-boy culture, the New York gang, LA gang stuff, that was really popular. So everybody's using spray paint. They say, hey, man, you keep spraying that spray paint, you're going to burn a hole in the ozone layer. After that, it was acid rain. Then it became global. It was climate change. So whatever they wanted to blame, whatever kind of weather incident happened, they could blame it on climate change and find a way to get money from it. Oh, it rained too much, climate change. It rained too little, climate change. Snowstorm, climate change. Heat wave, climate change. That's just how they did. If it's really windy, climate change. That's what it is. Because that way, there's no need to keep flip-flopping between global warming, global cooling, acid rain, ozone layer, all this, that, and the third, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, they're going to come for vaping next because they want you to stop vaping. Is that a thing now? Is vaping considered an environmental hazard? You guys are saying that it is right there in the comments. If it is considered an environmental hazard, I would not be surprised. Because the reality about vaping, to speak about vaping right quick, the reality of vaping is that people are becoming addicted to it. Vaping ain't no more than just the new age of nicotine addicts. Back in the day, people were hooked on cigarettes. They had a whole campaign to try and stop it because of all the cancer that was happening. Just say no. And what was it? What was the thing back then to stop smoking? When I was a kid, they had people come in and talk about the dangers of smoking. But they were effective at being able to warn us about cigarettes, and you can't smoke indoors. They were very good to stop all that. Tobacco industry says, hey, we're losing money. So how can we get the money back? Okay, there's this company called Juul. We're going to just put money behind that. We're going to have these 16-year-old influencers on Instagram doing tricks with the vape, the colored vape, and we're going to name it like nice and catchy colors, blueberry and watermelon and grape and all kind of stuff that would appeal to the very young audience, like kids and young adults. So now you got these high school kids hooked on vaping because they are hooked on nicotine. Alabama Barker, what's that? The daughter of Travis Barker, She was allegedly sent to the hospital because of vaping. And she said, well, all they did was give me a nicotine patch and something else. Exactly, because you were hooked on nicotine, the same thing that your uncle and them were hooked on when they smoked Newports all day long. It's the same thing. Okay. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. Yeah, if they want to talk about vaping being some kind of environmental hazard, it's because they want to have people stop smoking, to stop using the vape, because they see it's an addiction now. So they're trying to just trick you into stop doing it through that. Oh, the truth ads. That's right. The Kid 504. Yep. It was a whole campaign. The truth ads. Yeah. All of that. And the same time those truth ads came out was when that guy would come out, and if you were lazy on the couch, he would chastise you. What are you doing? You're not doing anything with your life anyway. So call that number right now. Yeah, that was the same time all those ads came out. And they were pretty effective, I suppose, for a while. And now they want to come back and get more addicts because they want to keep the industry going. Big tobacco ain't going to die without a fight. Not at all. Hold on. Guy Smiley says, when I started smoking, premium brands were $1.89 per pack. Now, what do you guys pay now for a pack of cigarettes? I've never smoked cigarettes before. I've never done cigarettes or vaping. I was never into that type of thing. That wasn't my thing. When I was young, the most I did, I might have had a little bit of alcohol. But I couldn't even do that because y'all were drinking stuff like Hypnotic. I had some of that Hypnotic one time. I was like early 20s. Had some of that Hypnotic. Man, y'all are doing too much, man. I don't want to be no dope fiend. But anyway, let me read some of these comments, and then I'm going to get to some videos here. $11.75 for a pack of cigarettes. Oh, my Lord. $11.75. Taylor says $13. Alan says $9. Justin $11. Dan says $10. Shelly says $12 in California for a pack. Hold on. A pack of cigarettes, a singular pack. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Gaga says $20 a pack in Canada. Oh, my goodness. Now, is that prohibitive pricing to stop y'all from smoking? Is that what that is? Or is it like California gas where it's just a bunch of taxes and whatnot in there? Hey, California, and I'm not trying to rub it in your face. I'm talking to the leadership. California leadership. Why are Californians being taxed to death and you can't even keep water in the reservoir that you built? The water in the reservoir been drained for months, all because you wanted to fix a simple cover, routine maintenance. Why am I being taxed so much and you guys can't perform basic tasks like keep water in the reservoir? Okay, hey, pour water into this bowl and keep it there, and I'm paying you trillions in tax dollars to do it. Exaggerating, but you understand what I'm saying. Pour water in the bowl. Oh, you can't do that? For real? Oh, okay. So why am I paying taxes? Oh, can we get some more firefighters? Can we get some more police? I'm paying all this money in taxes. I'm paying on the low end, what, $5 a gallon for gas? And the roads are crazy. The fires are spreading. What's really happening? What's really going on? All right. So you guys say vaping is cheaper, of course, because there's probably a bunch of taxes built into cigarettes to prevent you from using it. That's what I would say. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. I think that I am 100% correct. All right. Grifting money goes to the leaders at the top. Of course. 100%. All right. Let's keep on going here. We got a lot to get through. Now, shout out to Marcus Freeman. I'm not watching sports really. I'm not really a sports guy anymore. But he is playing in the Orange Bowl, and I guess he won, so now he's going to the next game. But college football coach, and he's black. Now, you guys know there's not many black head coaches in college football, also in the NFL. So here's a reporter asking him about that whole thing. How's it feel to be a black head coach, all this, that, and the third? Let's see what his response is.
Because you are the first black head coach to go to a national championship game in college football.
Congratulations.
Just hearing that response alone, how much does this mean to you?
You know, I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from the team. It is an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me, this is about us. And we're gonna celebrate what we've done because it's something special.
You.
All right, so there we go. So he's a coach of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame coach. Is that Sugar Bowl or Orange Bowl? I'm seeing oranges in the bowl. So is that what that is, or is it a Sugar Bowl? Is he going to the Orange Bowl? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm out of the loop. But all that I know is they're asking him about this whole thing. Would like to be a black head coach, all this, that, and the third. Now, first of all, somebody said it. Can I say something right quick? Am I going to be seen as, look, I'm going to say something right quick, and I don't want y'all to judge me. I'm going to say something, but I don't want y'all to judge me, all right? Listen, there's a lot of fake black people out here in this world. A lot of fake black folks. Okay, they'll show somebody on the screen and say, oh, this is a black man or a black woman. I can't tell. Barely. Kamala Harris. Barack Obama. Barely. Okay, why is Barack Obama considered to be black when he's also white? He's 50-50, black and white. His dad is black and his mom is white. And 100% on both. A guy from Kenya and a lady that came on the first boat to America. The first white woman to ever exist is Barack Obama's mom. So they were 100% black and 100% white. He's a combination of both of them, but only one part of him counts. I think that's kind of whack. And I don't like how everything's got to be race. Oh, being the black head coach, being the first black this. I mean, at a certain point, I understand sometimes. I get it. But it's like, all right, what am I going to say next? I'm the first black frog catcher in Louisiana. I'm just kind of done with it, really. All right. Now, this is pretty interesting. Who is this? I think this is Stephen Baldwin. This is the trigger man's brother, right? So he's talking about Hollywood, how it's become very demonic.
You said that the devil runs Hollywood.
I did say that.
Yes. You still believe it?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Didn't we just have Christmas?
Yes.
What were the films that premiered for Christmas? Name the titles you can think of now.
Okay, so what premiered for Christmas? I'm not sure this might have been this year, might have been last year. But what came out on Christmas? I know one thing they keep pushing is that movie with Cynthia Erivo and not Lady Gaga, what's the Ariana Grande? First of all, they look like they bought 100 pounds each. Barely, not 90 pounds each at 5'8". Please eat something. But anyway, let's let them continue.
Carry On.
Right.
Which had a Christmas backdrop to it.
Right.
But I can't really think of any actual Christmas films.
Nicole Kidman's film came out. Baby Girl, I think it's called.
Okay, yeah, I missed
not
that
a
one.
Christmas movie.
No.
It's not a Christmas movie.
No, you're not really seeing Christmas movies right now.
You're not really seeing... And then
There's no
Nostradamus,
Grinch,
what is that? Nostradamus, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't even say it, it's so evil. If you look at the marketing for the new Christmas vampire movie, Vlad.
Christmas vampire movie, okie dokie.
See where I'm going with this, guys?
Christmas
See the
vampire
new
movie,
Christmas vampire movie? If you look at the advertising for that, it doesn't say devil. It never says, it says, darkness. And, the principalities of darkness. And,
You've said that the devil...
I mean, they putting it right in front of your face. Back in the day, Christmas movies, that was a thing. Okay, you go to the movies back in the day, Ernest Goes to Christmas, Medea Goes to Christmas. It could be silly stuff like that, or it could be, a little bit more polished, Home Alone, stuff like that. But now we're getting a lot of witchcraft, a lot of evil stuff, and I'm seeing women especially talking about witchcraft more and more just out in the open. I saw a video, one of these 20 versus 1s that be on the interwebs, and the girl was like, how you feel about witches? And she said, yeah, I'm a witch and I practice, but you don't got to worry about it as long as you don't go to my bad side. I'm good. I'm good. But that's happening a lot more, a whole lot more. Now, speaking about strange people, potentially evil people, this person here, now this person is in front of Alex Padilla's office. I thought it might have been Alex Padilla, but the caption says, "How are the California wildfires connected to the genocide in Gaza?" We just left the California Senate office of Alex Padilla. Okay, so let's see what's happening here.
We just left the California Senate office of Alex Padilla, whose state is being ravaged by fires and the climate disaster. And at the same time,
climate disaster. See, there we go. See, didn't I just get done talking about that? Everything is about climate change, the climate problem, everything. In a place where they are prone to wildfires, where wildfires happen a lot. Oh, it's climate change. Okay, so the fact that it's a dry place that is prone to a lot of these crack smokers and whatnot, because 80% of the fires in LA, downtown LA, are started by the homeless population. And a place that's prone to fire, arson, dry conditions, no water, that's climate change. Okay.
Congress is set to pass $8 billion more to Israel to continue to bomb and obliterate people in Gaza. We are drawing the parallels where people in communities in California are being evacuated from their homes, and people in Gaza have been evacuated from their homes for the past 15 months. Instead of funding more devastation and destruction, we need to be putting that money into constituents, whether they are from California, whether they are from Minnesota, Appalachia. Every bomb that goes off is being tested and built on sacrifice zones in this country, on indigenous lands. We need that money for climate reparations, for healthcare, for housing, instead of going to further climate collapse and further the devastation and genocide of the people in Gaza. And so,
but look, though, people like this actually vote. And sometimes, guess what? Sometimes they get in office. They really do. People just like this, with the terrorist scarf or whatever she got going on, they actually wind up in office.
So we are here today making the connections between the climate crisis, between endless militarism, that genocide is ecocide, and that we need to put that money into constituents and communities here at home.
All right, so there we have it. One thing I'm gonna say, I'm not really a fan of interventionism and being overseas, fighting wars and whatnot, but just say that the money that is being spent in this country can be spent better. Like, that's really the bottom line. Okay. And even in a place like California, they're so worried about things that woman would appreciate, like diversity, equity, and inclusion. They're so worried about that, they're neglecting basic things. Now, before we get to the wildfire, let's see some of the snow. Shout out to you guys who got snow down south. You may have seen quite a few videos of people playing around in the snow and whatnot, because we don't get snow down here. Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, we don't get snow unless you're up in the mountains of, by Knoxville. But down here in these parts in the South, we don't get snow. So check it out. This is Alabama. This is an Alabama snowplow.
Yep, I'm gonna have to. This is called an Alabama snowplow. That's a trash can. Oh, hey!
How's it going?
I say, look, if it works, it works. Okay, what I see right there is somebody thinking on their feet, thinking quickly. Okay, we're living in Alabama. We don't have snow equipment, all right? We don't have stuff to handle this type of weather. So what are we going to do? Okay, find something we could just affix in front of this vehicle and scoop the snow off of the road. It's working.
How's it going? Oh.
So shout out to Alabama. Yeah, you're not going to get snow in Alabama too much at all. Right on. So I think that is fantastic. Now, I thought about doing this, but I thought that might be a little bit overkill. But I do have a tarp, and I almost put it out on my driveway. I came that close to putting a tarp on my driveway, but I'm like, nah, I don't gotta do all that. I could just get my food and chill for a day.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well.
What the hell?
So, I mean, I'm not sure what the point of covering a piece of grass is. I mean, I guess we can, you know, if it was on a driveway or something like that, it'd make a lot of sense. But yeah, clearly, I've seen people put the tarp on their stairs. Like if you have stairs on the outside going to your house, they put a tarp on that. So when the snow comes, it'll be on top of the tarp. All you got to do is just remove the tarp and the stairs are clean. You don't got to worry about trying to chip ice off the stairs. Hey, you know what? I got a short story to tell. It ain't gonna be no long story. It's a short story. So one time I'm in college. I'm trying to date this young lady, right? She was kind of big though. She had kind of a big back. I don't know what I was tripping, but anyway. So I'm going like to her dorm, I guess. I don't know, like an apartment. And she had these wooden stairs leading up to the actual apartment. Now, as we're leaving, I'm being very careful. I'm trying to just ease my way down the steps. I got Timberland boots on. It's cold. The steps have like ice on it, basically, with a little bit of snow. Now, she is in front of me, and she chilling, right? She chilling. She's like occupying the entire way. Now, I slip on the steps, and I hop naturally. I got the natural athletic instinct. I hop right on the back. Hop right on the back. And she ain't go nowhere. I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'm glad she got a big back, because if she didn't have a big back, we'd have been bowling pins right there on them steps. So, moral of the story is, when it's snowing, make sure you got somebody that can sustain you jumping on their back. Because, hey, she sure didn't fall. I was very thankful. But anyway, also, it would have been nice if they had a tarp on them wood steps to prevent that snow and ice from forming. Because, hey, man, if she went in there, it'd be looking like the cartoons. Or them little noises. It'd have been like that down the stairs. But anyway, yeah, shout out to her. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I didn't really date her. It was just like, you know, we were just hanging out for a little bit. We were just chilling. But yeah, she was bit blocked though. I was tripping. But anyway, let's keep on going here. Oh, here's something cool though. Have you ever seen a train go through the snow that's on the ground? Let's check it out. Hey, I would love to see that in person. To see the train move the snow. That right there would be a sight to see. And this is Remsen, New York, 1825. Now, where I live is a bunch of trains. There's a lot of trains everywhere. And I know it's a train that comes like right down the street from where I live. I could pretty much walk to where it's going to cross. But it's probably not that much snow to be able to get that kind of effect like that. I wish it was, though. If it was, I'd definitely go out there and see it. For sure. You see that where you live, Fire Mission? Shout out to you. Come to Michigan? Hey, I want to come to Michigan, though. I want to go to the UP and have a good time out there. Yeah, I want to go to UP, Michigan and just, you know, enjoy myself. Now, Atlanta is ridiculous. So they made a snowman and gave it a haircut.
All right, but it's gonna be 50 plus tip.
50 plus tip. There we go. And that's probably a white guy doing that, because in Atlanta, everybody is just an ATLian. So yeah, there we go. They had snowman with the BBL. They were doing they did all kind of stuff in Atlanta. Now, what they also did was this. Now, can somebody please explain to me the science behind this? Why do y'all do this? Huh? Why? This is a real picture. This is from Walmart in Marietta, which is right there in the Atlanta area, north of Atlanta. Why do y'all do this? Weatherman says, hey, it's a little bit of snow coming. Y'all go to the grocery store and immediately get all the milk. So I was in the store before the storm hit, just getting some basic food. I'm getting some fish, some rice, some avocado, tomato, everything I eat all day anyway. Little big bag snacks, a little bit of red velvet cake, something like this, because why not? I'm getting basic stuff like that. Now, maybe I don't get it because I don't drink milk. I'm not really a milk guy. So maybe y'all don't get it. But without fail, whenever it's going to be some kind of weather event, people get bread and milk. I don't understand. And then some said, oh, well, look, ABL, if the power go out, it's okay because it'll last in the fridge or you could put it outside. But people get bread and milk before a hurricane in Virginia. It's like, bro, it's August and 100 degrees. Why would you purchase milk? Out of everything you could, milk? Because in Virginia, with the hurricane situation, you might have no power for 2 weeks. You need to be getting shelf-stable items, not milk. But any kind of rainstorm, ice storm, hurricane, tornado, snow, anything, they're going to get milk. When I went to the store, it was a line right at the dairy milk section to get that. Okay. And again, that is a real picture from Walmart in Marietta. 100%. Like, what are we doing? Are we going to make 1,000 cakes? I don't really understand. Oh, this was crazy. So at Hartsfield Jackson, I believe a plane had to get deplaned because there was a fire with one of the engines before it took off. And they had to let the chute, I guess, the side exits with the little, you know what I'm talking, the slide. You had to get out that way and walk on the tarmac with the snow. Oh, and don't get me started on the toilet paper. Good grief. My question is to people that want to hoard toilet paper, do you eat the toilet paper? Do you use the paper to make clothing when you don't have any more clothing that's clean? I don't understand what you do. You don't need that much toilet paper. Matter of fact, I would say invest in a bidet or a toilet sprayer. The toilet paper hoarding before any kind of natural weather, it makes no sense. But I digress. So, yeah, that right there might not be the best thing. And really, I wouldn't travel from Hartsfield Jackson during snow because they're not used to snow. I mean, I'm sure they could get the airport, the airplanes ready, and they could get everything ready, but still, I'm good. I don't see no plowing going on. I'm seeing fresh snow right there on the tarmac. So I'm good. I am good. All right, let's keep on going here. Now, they have the congestion pricing in New York. To anybody that's in New York City, or if you go to the city, have you experienced the effects of the congestion pricing? This person is giving the report. Now, I don't know where this is specifically, like the actual location in Manhattan, but 9:13 a.m., here are the streets of Manhattan, New York City.
Y'all, we reporting live. Still no traffic. A lot of debris and garbage flying around.
A Christmas tree is just tumbling around like a tumbleweed.
Christmas trees flying around. No traffic though. We got, looks like no sign of the agents, but definitely we got some Christmas trees though.
Now, my question is, okay, if there's no vehicle traffic, is there foot traffic? Because people are saying, okay, they're going to go on the subway, all this, that, and the third. First of all, going on the subway, you might run to be Daniel Penny on there. Get your life turned upside down because some dope fiend want to start acting the fool, and you want to intervene to protect yourself and others, and then they say you did it. You did something wrong to the guy if he died. But anyway, where's all the people? Are they gonna walk to where they gotta go? If there's no vehicle traffic, are they gonna go to these businesses? I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I understand the whole thing about the traffic is really bad, but you're also discouraging vehicle traffic, and I would suppose you're also discouraging foot traffic, which is going to hurt the businesses. So what are we doing? All right, but you guys let me know what's happening with the pricing. I'm going to play this video right here. So it says, Queens residents complain congestion pricing toll hurts them the most. And I would presume it's going to hurt the outer people because people are just going to go there rather than into the city, or they may park there. You may have traffic that builds up elsewhere rather than right there in Manhattan. So it's okay for Harlem to get hit. It's okay for, or what they say, Washington Heights, whatever. It's okay for Harlem to get hit. It's okay for Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, but Manhattan, leave it alone because that's where all the rich folks are. Let's watch.
From some drivers about congestion pricing. Drivers who have been using the 59th Street Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge. They say there is no way to get from Manhattan to Queens without paying that $9 fee, even though they have no intention of going into the congestion pricing zone. So why is this happening? A little and solvable issue or a very big problem? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman.
In this new congestion pricing era, Andrew Joseph, who just moved to Long Island City, probably won't be driving across the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge.
I'm not going to be congesting Manhattan with my car anymore.
But notably, if you are heading into Manhattan and planning to go uptown, you can stay on the upper level of the Ed Koch and avoid the toll. However, when you go back to Queens, there is no avoiding it, whether you're on the upper level or the lower level, because the road takes you below 60th Street before you start heading across the bridge. This man driving south on 2nd Avenue just paid $9 to enter the congestion zone for less than a minute.
Definitely not good. I'm not happy.
But here's the thing. The MTA reminds drivers the toll is not contingent on how long you're in the Manhattan Central Business District, just if you're in it at all.
So if you want to drive through there to go from point A to point B without stopping there, you still got to pay the $9. And you guys said that it'll get you both ways. So once you enter, you pay $9, and once you leave, you pay $9, $18. But then there's a bunch of other fees they got to pay in Manhattan. Okay, you want to park, you want to go to a parking garage, it's all kind of stuff. And then they may have to come from far away, so there's other tolls you got to pay. Okay, you want to come from Jersey, it's a toll right there, and it's just toll, fee, to the point where it becomes unaffordable. The same thing happened in Virginia, in Portsmouth, Virginia. They put a toll on the downtown tunnel, midtown tunnel. I think it's a toll on the Veterans Bridge, the High Rise Bridge, Jordan Bridge. It's only not a toll on the Gilmanton Bridge, but a toll everywhere else. And Portsmouth is the poorest city, so all the ways to get to Portsmouth are costing a lot of money. People have moved. I heard about people moving from Portsmouth to somewhere else because the tolls are too expensive. People will sell their house because the tolls are too much. Think about it. You might have to pay an extra $2,000 a year just on tolls to get to your house.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the MTA said, quote, "The law passed 5 years ago that established the congestion relief zone set the boundary as Manhattan south of and including 60th Street, except for the FDR Drive and West Side Highway. The location of toll points aligns exactly." Still, some feel this toll point in particular impacts Queens residents unfairly.
They've been the most vocal people that have been against the congestion pricing, saying it just hurts them the most and hits them the most.
Probably not as fair as when you, because the congestion, you're trying to avoid the congestion in Manhattan, not going the other way. No, probably it's not fair, but yeah, such is life, right?
And a reminder, drivers only get tolled once per day. So if you know you're going to be driving over the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge 2 times, you're either going to get hit on the way in or on the way out.
Okay, so it's only just one time per day. All right, but still $9 and you got to pay that every day. It's just too much. And again, it's other fees you got to pay. It's other things you got to pay already. So you're going to pay that on top of that. Now, let's see how some of the drivers are avoiding the pricing. Let's see some of this.
It's the day commuters driving into Manhattan have long dreaded. Congestion pricing is here. And now some motorists are coming up with clever ways to avoid those toll cameras planted strategically around the city. Some commuters are so desperate they're going to extraordinary lengths to avoid that $9 toll. Like here at this garage on 61st Street, the sign says do not enter on 61st Street, but for drivers who ignore that sign, they go in this way, and when they come out the other side, they've avoided the toll altogether. Look, they even put up a barricade to stop the maneuver.
People don't like to pay for something they've never paid for before.
Streets Blog NYC editor Gersh Kunzman.
New Yorkers are exceptionally brazen. As drivers, they feel very entitled. There is a cost to your driving, and this is kind of stealing back a tiny bit of that cost.
I spoke to New York Governor Kathy Hochul. What do you make of the people who are skirting congestion pricing, finding creative ways to avoid it?
They ought to be careful. There are penalties. There are.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, hey, I got a question for you guys. Between Newsom and Hochul, who's the worst governor? Again, Newsom, Gavin Newsom, Kathy Hochul, California, New York. Who's the worst governor? Y'all let me know in the comments. I have my answer already, but I think it might be kind of a close, might be kind of a close race. It might be a little bit close. I'm gonna tell you who I don't like. It's a matter of fact. Hold on, I'll do a poll. Let's do a poll. Worst governor ? Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul. All right, y'all let me know what you think in the poll. Please pardon the poll being on the screen like that. I cannot collapse it. I can collapse it over here, but not over there, if you understand what I'm saying. So y'all let me know. Y'all can vote on that, and we'll keep on rocking and rolling. Now, Mel Gibson went on Joe Rogan's podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, and he was talking about how 3 of his friends had stage 4 cancer, and they don't anymore after they took ivermectin and fenbenzidole. And I'll probably tore that name up, but that's what he said. Let's watch.
I'll tell you a good story.
Okay.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin.
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Let's pause for a second. When you're talking about rich people, elite people, plugged in, they do whatever they want. The laws are for you, the common person. Once you get to a certain level, they do what they want. And they don't pay the media any attention. I know people that got a lot of money, that have a lot, that do a lot. They kind of live in their own way. And if you live like that, within reason, of course, you're probably going to be better off. I think we all know that the mainstream media, they'll tell you any kind of lie they want to tell you to push forward a narrative. Same thing with the politicians. People in his realm, in his circle, they do what they want.
There's studies on that now where people have proven that
people drinking methylene blue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good point, J Flo. Magic Johnson, for you guys who don't know, young guys, Magic Johnson caught HIV right at the peak of it, like late 80s, early 90s. Okay, right around then. He caught it right at the peak of it. My uncle died at age 36 from HIV in 1990. Right around the same time, here comes Magic. He got the bug. Magic is now one of the richest guys in the world. So what kind of AIDS do you have? Financial AIDS? I don't want to get that, but obviously he doesn't have the thing that was killing a lot of people back then. And if he does have it, he found a way to be able to beat it. It's been 30 years and he's looking better than people who are half his age. So you already know what it is. You got the cure.
methylene blue, which was a fabric dye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a textile dye. And now they find out it has profound effects on your mitochondria.
Yep.
Yeah.
This stuff works, man.
There's a lot of stuff that does work, which is very strange because, again, it's profit. When you hear about things that are demonized and that turn out to be effective, you always wonder, well, what is going on here? How is?
Well, I think part of the reason why they demonize it is because they cannot make money. So when we were talking about ivermectin and whatnot being effective when it comes to treating COVID-19, what did they say? Oh, that's horse paste. It's nonsense. It's BS. Don't take that. You're going to die. All this, that, and the third. But now they don't say that anymore. You could talk about that openly. You could say that it helps you openly because they know cat's out the bag. People are taking this stuff and it's helping them. So people are not buying this whole thing about it being dangerous and ineffective. Plus, it's been around for a long time. It's an old drug. It's been proven over years to be safe. The vaccination, however, myocarditis, pericarditis, you're 20 years old, healthy, athletic male, heart attack right on the field and die.
How is our medical institutions, how have they failed us so that things that do cure you are not promoted because they're not profitable?
There you go. So yeah, shout out Joe Rogan. Hey, you know what? About Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan experience is so popular among men is because the reason why the Joe Rogan experience is so popular among men is because he speaks to men. Okay, he speaks to men in our language, and it's not pretentious. It's not phony. He's not trying to lie to you or blow smoke. He's just, it's a straightforward approach. And a lot of the media, they don't understand why men like Joe Rogan so much. That's why they try to give us Tampon Tim Waltz. Why would they pick, you could have picked anybody else other than Tampon Tim. You picked this flamboyant, flailing around dude to try and be the vice president of the United States. So he said he was a football coach, and you think that's going to connect to us, even if in his behavior, he's like a ballerina. You could call somebody, look, okay, I can identify as Shaquille O'Neal, but then when you see me in person, I'm not 7 foot tall. And I don't sound like this at all. I don't sound like this. That's not me. He was like a catfish. I thought I was getting the football coach. What I really got is rah, rah, sis, boom, bye. I got a cheerleader. That's not what I signed up for. Joe Rogan experience, that kind of content. It's straight to the point. It's men talking to men. That's what we need more of in this country rather than Tampon Tim, rah, rah, sis, boom, bye. You understand what I'm saying? I'm triggered, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty, we got some more. Oh, and talking about Fauci.
I have 3 friends.
Hold on. Actually, I ain't gonna play this because this is a longer one. Let's go to Zuck. Let's go to Zuck because Zuck was on JRE as well. He's talking about Pete Hegseth right here and this whole, here's a good what's the word I'm looking for? Here's a good turn of events. Speaking about Mark Zuckerberg and trying to move past censorship and the wokeness of the platform. And before I get to that, I'm going to end this poll right here about the worst governor, Gavin Newsom or Kathy Hochul. The results are clear. I don't need to have any more. We got 7 minutes, 480 votes. The clear winner is Gavin Newsom. Okay. 86% of the vote. 86% of the vote goes to Gavin Newsom for the worst governor compared to Kathy Hochul, who had 13%. Okay. Now, I could have put more in there. Maybe you guys could have said somebody else, but I think Newsom might be the absolute worst governor. And you know the funny part? The funny part about that, we all know he's the worst. The funny part about that is that he's still the top contender for 2028 Democrats. That's how bad they are. The worst governor in the country, one of the worst governors ever, is the front runner for the 2028 Democratic National Committee's nomination. All right.
Pete Hegseth.
Let's watch this right here with Zuck talking about the whole Transformer situation.
Pete Hegseth is going to, probably be defending his nomination for Secretary of Defense on the Senate floor. And I think one of the points that he's made is that he thinks that women shouldn't be able to be in certain combat roles. And until we updated our policies, that wouldn't have been a thing that you could have said on our platforms because it would call for the exclusion of a protected category.
Interesting.
People. And it's like, okay, like on its face, yeah, calling for the exclusion of a protected category, that seems that like that's okay. There's like legal protections, there's all this stuff, but okay, if it's like okay to say on the floor of Congress, you should probably be able to debate it on social media.
Right on, absolutely. And I think this is about the whole trans thing because they're gonna get rid of a lot of the trans catering things on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Which it's about time. It is about time. Now here he is talking about the COVID-19 vaccination and how the Biden administration was calling Facebook employees. They were calling Facebook and cursing them out, screaming at them to get them to remove factual information and memes, straight up comedy. We look bad with that meme. Take that meme down. Imagine the Biden administration giving you a call. Okay, take the meme down. Imagine that. I'm not trying to hear that if I'm Mark Zuckerberg, but let's watch.
At the beginning, it kind of seemed like, okay, we should give a little bit of deference to the government and the health authorities on how we should play this. But when it went from, 2 weeks to flatten the curve to, and like in the beginning, it was like, okay, there aren't enough masks. Masks aren't that important. To then it's like, oh no, you have to wear a mask. And, everything was shifting around. It just became very difficult to kind of follow. And this really hit the most extreme, I'd say, during the Biden administration when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program. And I'm generally pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance,
I got to pause right here for fair use. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Hey, Joe Rogan, don't give me no copyright, boss. But he's talking about how generally he says that vaccines are beneficial, generally.
Vaccines are more positive than negative. But I think that while they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects.
That's crazy. And everybody knows that vaccines can have side effects. Everybody knows that. Even if you like the vaccine, you cannot say that they don't have side effects or it's impossible for them to have side effects.
You basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. I mean, a lot of this is documented. I mean, because Jim Jordan and the House had this whole investigation and committee into the kind of government censorship around stuff like this, and we produced all these documents, and it's all in the public domain. I mean, basically, these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Oh, did you record any of those phone calls?
Man, I wish they had the phone calls recorded. I wish I would pay any kind of money to get those phone calls. Oh, I need those phone calls so badly. But I already know how the phone calls are going to go. I already know what's going to happen with these phone calls.
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails.
Take it down. You know how they be. All that.
the emails are published. It's all kind of out there. And they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're going to see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, this sort of class action lawsuit type meme. And they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess.
And then when you don't want to do that, when you don't want to take things down, when you want to stand up to them, okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to do lawfare on you. Now we're going to investigate Facebook. Now you got to go before Congress to testify. You got to do all these different things because we're going to force you to do what we want you to do because we have the power of the government to do it. Same thing with Trump. Okay, you want to fight against the system, Trump? Okay, now we got the lawfare on you. Now, although Trump was able to successfully beat all that, he still probably spent a small fortune on legal defense. And also the time you're going to spend in court, tying you up that way, it's a whole big mess.
Yes, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies.
Yep, all the agencies are going to come on you. They're going to rain on you.
And branches of government basically just like started investigating and coming after our company. It was brutal.
That's how they do. That's how they do lawfare. Anybody that gets in the way, anybody that goes against their narrative, they want to come after you. Whether you may be on their side normally, whether you voted for me or not. Listen, I don't care if you voted for me, if you didn't vote for me. If you don't do what we say, we're going to penalize you. We're going to punish you by way of the government. That's what the message is from the Biden administration. They did it to Zuckerberg. They do it to anybody. There was a point where the IRS was targeting conservatives. Remember that back in the day? A few years ago, the IRS targeted conservatives because they didn't like them. They didn't like the message. Okay, now we're going to sick the IRS on you. And we're going to hire 87,000 new agents and arm them. So we'll be better able to weaponize the government against you if you don't do what we say. Following the law, not even really, you can follow the law you want to. Freedom of speech, doing things the right way, but that doesn't matter. If you don't do what we like, even if it's legal, we're going to use lawfare on you and get you in trouble. Now, we got to get to the wildfires. This was crazy. Karen Bass, of course, Karen Bass, one of several DEI figures in Los Angeles County. Okay, so she's being asked here about going to Ghana on a taxpayer-funded trip and having that going while the fires are raging, and then the lack of preparation that happened here. She's being asked all those questions. Let's check it out.
Owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Saying nothing. Why just sit there and say nothing? Why? And you know what? This right here just kind of sums up the problems with California in a nutshell. It sums it up. Incompetent leadership. No accountability. Don't know what's going on. Poor planning. Bad management of resources. Doing things that don't make a difference. What you in Ghana for? For what? Why? Meanwhile, where's the water at in the reservoir? Huh? Why'd you cut money from the budget for the fire department? You wouldn't have cut money from the budget from the fire department, but you wouldn't do all this other stuff. All this woke stuff and spend millions upon millions on the woke stuff. For what? Rather than doing the woke stuff, how about just have that money go toward the fire department? And also, why not do some preventative measures? Rake the forest. You guys want to be environmentalists and tree huggers. But how are you a tree hugger when you're doing things that do not prevent the trees from burning down. How are you going to hug the trees when they burn down? I don't understand. You want to be a tree hugger, so you do certain things to protect the environment or to protect the precious smelt fish because you want your sushi at French Laundry, right? You want that. You cut, 18 million, 50 million? But this disaster has cost 50 billion with a B so far. At max, you cut 50 million from the budget, but this disaster has cost 50 billion with a B. And we're talking about people's lives that have been ruined. People are dead. I just saw the child star, Rory Sykes. Pardon me for saying his name wrong. Rory Sykes, child star. Hold on. He died in the fire because I believe he had cerebral palsy and his mom had a broken arm, so she couldn't really do anything to help him. All right, so hold on. This is the young man right here, but I think he was most well known when he looked a little bit different. So maybe you guys may have seen him like this. I don't recognize this young man here, but maybe you guys do. So this is him when he was a child, right? Child star, child actor. That was him right there, Rory Sykes, R.I.P. I think maybe him and his mom died. I'm not really sure. And that's him in, I guess, more of a recent picture. I don't know exactly when this was or what's going on, but he died in the fire. Not only those who have died, but those who lost their homes. I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess. And it was preventable. Totally preventable. Now, look. Okay, here's a story from Daily Mail. Leaked memo reveals LA Mayor Karen Bass demanded her fire department cut an extra $49 million just 1 week before the wildfires broke out. And that face right there, that picture, that's going to be emblematic of this whole situation. It's going to be a symbol. It's going to be, okay, this right here is a response from our leadership. While Southern California is on fire, our mayor of Los Angeles, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. Poor me. Poor me. All right, let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously.
We're at 302 Pico, and people are lighting fires now. You can see they lit a fire. These guys, not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire, and they're actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires down in the so-called, flats around Santa Monica, Venice. So be safe out there.
So that's going on. Oh, it's climate change. ABL, the fires are starting because of climate change. Okay, so is there a shortage of crackheads in Los Angeles? I don't think so. Is there a shortage of people that just want to do bad things, criminals? You have Gotham City right here. New York City, Los Angeles. You have Gotham City with no Batman. It ain't nothing but a bunch of villains and no Batman. Batman got locked up. Batman got deleted. Oh, you know what? There was a Batman, but you wouldn't put him in the penitentiary, Daniel Sykes. What's his name? Daniel Penny. Yeah, Daniel Penny. You wouldn't put Daniel Penny in the penitentiary. That's your Batman right there. You are anti-Batman, but you need a Batman.
Fire.
Goodbye, Amnesia. Goodbye. Love you. Love you so much. Unbelievable. All right. Bye. Fucking shit.
Crazy. Look at this. Like, look at that. Preventable. Oh, we can't rake the leaves, ABL, because we're going to kill a garden snake. And if the garden snake gets killed, it's bad for the environment. All right. Well, hold on. Is this good for the environment? Is this destruction from the Palisades fire good for the environment? If it is, then I don't know what good for the environment actually looks like. I don't think charred remains of homes, debris from the homes, the everything that this causes, the amount of debris and trash, and loss of life, property, I don't think this is a good way for the environment to be. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a bunch of garbage and trash on the ground, charred up remains of people's homes and human beings and animals. That's good for the environment, right? So that little gopher, the garter snake that you were trying to protect in the forest, where is it at right now? Did it escape the fire? Is the fire good for these animals you're trying to protect? I'm just trying to understand. If one of you guys can let me know how a fire that destroys everything in its path is good for the environment, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. All right. Now, this is Villa de Leon, a private estate by the Getty Villa. Okay. And sorry for the noise. I'll turn the sound off right there. I mean, look at this. California, when the weather is acting right and you're up in the hill areas, it's beautiful. But look at this. You can't maintain that beauty if you can't maintain the beauty. You understand? You can't maintain these structures if you don't maintain the environment around it properly. All right, you want to go and make sure the building is intact and there's no foundation problems and it's nice on the inside, but the environment around it is still going to exist. It's not like it doesn't, it's still there. And you have to respect the environment and treat it properly. Now here is Altadena. All right, look at these cars. It's just like, hey, Maui, Hawaii 2.0. And you got to ask yourself, is it planned? Is this something that they did on purpose? Like, what's going on here? Either it was planned or it's just incompetence.
Steering wheel gone. Nothing. Motor, I'm assuming, doesn't work anymore, of course. But it's pretty bad. You know, I don't even have a mask, but shit. I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, it's pretty bad. This building, I mean, it just completely went down. Completely went down.
Look at this. Look at that. And a lot of the structures that burned down, you're talking about really, really nice areas. It doesn't really matter if it's a nice area, not so nice area or whatever. But the reality is that you had a lot of celebrity homes. I think, who was that? It was a lot of people. A lot of YouTubers' houses burned down. I think Beyonce's mom, her house might have burned down. I saw Kourtney Kardashian kind of tore into Karen Bass. Let me see if I can find that right quick. All right, and that might be one of the only times you ever hear me say the name Kourtney Kardashian on these interwebs. All right, keeping up with the Kardashians, I don't care nothing about the Kardashians. All right, they look like ridiculous people. They look like them people that you would see in some of these old tabloids. Okay, you'd be in the store, right? And it'd be the National Enquirer right here. It'd be some kind of crazy looking celebrity on the front cover. That's how they are right now. Lip fillers and all that extra stuff they do. But anyway, hold on. Let me just show this right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. All right, so let me see. Hold on. Crowley said, my message is to the fire department needs properly funded. It's not. Basically, she was criticizing the mayor and supporting the fire chief after the fire chief threw the mayor under the bus. Okay, let me see if I can put it up right here. There we go, page 6. That's probably better. Khloe Kardashian slams LA mayor over wildfire disaster after evacuating her home. You are a joke. You know, if you got the Kardashians on your hind parts and you this black female mayor, all this, that, and the third, you know you done messed up. You know you done messed up. You know that the woke stuff don't work. You got a problem. Now, this is downtown LA. Downtown LA. I mean, imagine seeing that. Now, how much you willing to bet this is a dope fiend fire right here? How much you willing to bet that's a dope fiend fire? I mean, that's who's in downtown LA. a lot of your local crackheads, they live right there. So they're going to say, hey, you know what? As fire is burning, I want to be involved with the fire too. Savannah Hernandez, she's out there at the Eaton fires. Let's see what Savannah says. And shout out to Savannah, one of the best reporters in the country. Savannah Hernandez, best independent reporter, one of them. Shout out to her.
All right, guys, this is Savannah Hernandez reporting to you guys from Altadena. And I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the scene over here. It's absolutely insane what is going on in this area. And these fires have been actively burning, again, since last night. I've been speaking to residents all day who've told me that they've been out of power for the past 24 hours. You have buildings actively on fire right now. You have a grocery store burning over here. The police have been doing what they can to try to make sure that the roads are blocked off and residents are safe. But the scene down here is just absolutely insane. And to be quite honest with you, it's been really difficult to cover this because of how vast the fires have been, right? So we're in Altadena right now. These are the Eaton fires. I believe they've burned up around 11,000 acres so far. 5 reported dead, multiple injuries. And then you also have the Pacific Palisades fires, which again started yesterday.
Look at this hellscape.
Yesterday morning, and with those fires, you've now seen 15,000 acres burned. We have, again, Americans evacuated. The scene in California right now is just insane. And I was speaking to a resident. I'm going to be posting up his interview here in a moment. He was telling me there were no fire trucks to be seen last night as these fires were ravaging his neighborhood. And we were driving through a neighborhood earlier today, and it's just heartbreaking. You have entire buildings burned down, and it's thousands of buildings throughout California as well. Small businesses, homes, of course, schools.
Now, she's smart to wear a mask out there because with these buildings burning, you don't know what kind of toxic chemicals are going to be released. So you want to protect yourself in that situation, 100%. And you definitely don't want to go anywhere near the smoke, because one thing that a lot of you guys may not know is that when people die in a fire, like in a house fire, or even just outside, they usually die from smoke inhalation because they can't breathe. Okay, that's the whole thing. The smoke does not have oxygen. So you're breathing in smoke, you're not breathing in oxygen, and you got to have that to live. You can survive a fire after you being, charred up and burnt up, but to a certain extent, of course. But the main thing that it gets you is the smoke inhalation. So, yeah, please be careful. And the mask ain't going to do nothing for you when you get into a lack of oxygen. Be outside, avoid the smoke, get oxygen, but protect some of the particulates that could be toxic from entering your body. 9/11, that was a problem. People had the particulates in their body, like the dust lady. All that toxic stuff got in their body, and wound up taking her life many years later. So please be careful. Hold on. 8-Bit Oni says, I grew up in the Valley, and it's sad what happened. I moved out a couple of years ago. So many problems. I can imagine how many problems there were. All right. Now look who showed up to the actual fire. Look who showed up for a good old photo op. Meghan Markle and her husband, whatever his name is. Check it out. Is that the guy, the World Food Truck guy? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jose, is that him right there? I think it is him. All right, so hey, you got to come out there with the LA hat on and take her. I'm not sure who's recording. Probably some kind of personal videographer. This is part of her Netflix story. That'll be an episode on there. How the mighty have fallen, bro. You part of royalty, and you left that to be this lady's husband For real? Like, why? I think, I might have said it before, I think he wanted out of the family and used her as an excuse to do it. I think that's what happened. Maybe I'm wrong, but good grief, man. I mean, that's terrible. Bro, whatever your name is, man, have a little bit of dignity for yourself. Have a teeny bit of dignity for yourself. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. Now, we know that there's no water anywhere, and they're having to use purses and whatnot to scoop water.
What in the world? The firemen don't have hoses, so they're like literally using purses? Women's handbags? Filling up women's handbags to put out fires. Look at this. What in the world? LAFD fire department using women's handbags to put out fires. What is going on here? Have you guys ever seen this in your life? Look.
But look, ain't no water in the hose. They hooking up to the hydrant and there's no water, or there's next to no pressure because ain't no water. So what are they going to do? They taking water from the truck, putting it in whatever they can, any kind of bucket type item like a handbag, and they going to just throw that over there. Now, clearly they're not going to contain the fire like that because there's smoke all around them. If they don't leave here, they're going to mess around and get smoke inhalation themselves and be suffering. They're not even wearing their full suits. Okay, they're not even wearing their full suits right here. Maybe they got on the mask. Maybe they don't. I don't see. No mask. Look, no mask or nothing. Just regular. No tank. No nothing. And you just taking water from the actual truck and trying to just dump that over there because you don't have any water coming from the hydrants. This is a mess. You can't even fight the fire because of the incompetence of the local government. That's crazy. All right, now we got a lot more to get into. We got to get into the whole bull dagger controversy. All right, now I want you guys to I want to ask you guys this question, and y'all just give me some assistance here. What are the they got the chances right here? 0.000, basically 0% chance. What are the chances that you have 3 lesbians, 2 bull daggers, 1 normie lesbian, 1 librarian, used book reader looking lady, 1 scarf knitter lady, okay, and 2 bull daggers, and they all have the same name, basically. 2 Christina spelled with a K and 1 Christine spelled with a K. What are the odds of that happening? And they all lesbian. So you got Christina Crowley, fire chief, salary $439,000. Christina Kepner, assistant chief, $264,000. Christine Larson, equity chief, salary $399,000. What are the odds of that happening? Okay, so that's them right there. We got the 2 bull daggers right there on the left, and then the 1 normie. So the 2 bull daggers, like I said before, 2 bull daggers, Hannah from HR. That's what you got going on right now in LA. Now, again, in order for that to happen, it has to be done intentionally. It's, in my opinion, it's impossible for that to be organic. Or it just happened to be 3 women in leadership roles and the fire department where it's 95% men, 95% white men. Come on, man. Be for real. Be serious. Be serious. I'm not trying to hear a thing. I'm not buying it at all. I've never in my life even seen a female fire chief. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. So I might have played it before, but we got to see it again. Here is the LAFD assistant chief, Christine, one of the 3 Ks, KKK. Christine. Marsha. Beetlejuice. Here we have one of the bull daggers talking about the job.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire. You want to see somebody.
So look, at the end, it says only about 5% of working firefighters are women. But you see that little run, you see that little jog? Look at the jog. Hold on. Look at the jog. I'm coming to save you, buddy. That jog right there, man, that's like your grandma running to the front door when they bring in the food for Thanksgiving dinner. This ain't nothing right here. Okay, you at the playground and you fall off the monkey bars. Here come your grandma coming to give you a candy bar or something like this, right? That's not who I want to come to my rescue in a fire. I'm 200 pounds. I'm a big person. I weigh a lot. I'm heavy. And I need you to put me over your shoulder and get me out of there. I'm not trying to see the lunch lady come get me. If the lunch lady has some catered food at an event, come on, let's go ahead and get it. If the lunch lady is drawing my blood at the doctor's office, okay, cool, come on. But coming to rescue me out of a burning building, I'm doomed. I am doomed. If I see one of the three Karens or Kristens or Marshas or whatever, if I see them coming, all hope is lost. All of my hope is lost if they come in. Period. I don't care about, oh, you're a woman of color and you're a woman. Can you save me or nah? That's what I'm focused on. Now, here is the video of the fire chief throwing the mayor under the bus.
Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city?
It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community.
Did they fail you?
That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs.
Did they fail you?
Yes.
Chief Kristen Crowley, I believe the anchors wanted to ask a question back there. Had some comments.
We do, Gigi. If you could please ask her regarding the Times article that came out that the Santa Ynez Reservoir was closed to repairs and it was empty. 117 million gallons of water could have been used in this fight.
The question is about the Santa Ynez Reservoir being empty. There's been a lot of questions about that.
Sure. So my stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants. Please defer that to DWP or whomever controls that part. But I can tell you the resiliency of our firefighters, if there's no water, they're going to go find water. They're going to figure out a way to do the best they can with what they've got in a very dynamic situation.
And I know you expressed concerns that those DWP hydrants would not be inspected thoroughly because of the budget cuts.
That is something to discuss, and we're going to look into that in regard to how we can ensure there's going to be water when we need it. But in the end, I'm going to defer that to DWP and whomever else controls the supply. I can guarantee you that when our firefighters showed up on that day with what they had, they did absolutely everything they could do to rescue and to save people's lives and property.
I mean, look, ultimately, if the fire department if they don't have any water, then what are they going to do? You got to have water. That's the key. You can't fight fire with no water. Like that's the key thing. You can suffocate the fire or use water. But obviously outdoors, woods, a lot of air, open air, you need water.
And that's the bottom line. Now let's get them what they need to do their jobs. And so
let's get them water, Chief, because I was with your firefighters and they literally were watching a house burn down with pain in their eyes, not being able to do anything except pull water from a swimming pool to try to save a nearby structure that wasn't burning.
Now, what they're saying, like some people say that, okay, there's a bunch of water right there on the coast because these fires are happening. A lot of them, the Palisades fire, that's right there on the coastline. Like right there on the water. The problem is you can't just pump the water from the ocean into where you would be able to access it from the fire hydrant because it's going to be that's going to be the drinking water as well. So you're going to contaminate the actual water supply that residents need to use. So obviously they need desal plants. I'm sure they might have desal, but you're going to need more of them clearly because you don't got enough water to fight the fires.
And literally watching a house burn to the ground because they had no water.
That's exactly right. But did they continue to work? And did they continue to do what they had to do the best they could with what they had? Yes.
Chief, follow-up. Thank you very much for talking to us.
There's more to that, but I'll leave it right there. So, I mean, what I saw was her throw the mayor under the bus, leadership under the bus. I'm not saying she's wrong, because at a certain point, if you don't have the things you need to fight the fire, then what are we doing? At the same time, she's part of her even being the chief is part of a greater problem, which is a lack of focus on what's important. Okay, firefighting, what's important? Having water, having good firefighters. But what do we have instead? No water and diversity, equity, and inclusion. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if you focus on one thing versus the other thing, this situation wouldn't be as bad as what it is. Rake the forest up, have water, fill the reservoir, make sure that things are done properly, and this would not be as bad as what it is. You're talking about one of the worst fires in the history of this country, despite us having more technology than we had in the past. It's crazy. Now, again, the mayor, Karen Bass, the same lady we saw earlier, looking like, and I didn't like that whole thing because she was trying to look like, she almost started pouting. I'm like, pouting as a mayor? Ma'am, you have a job to do. Listen, if they hire ABL to be the mayor and I don't do a good job, that's my fault. That's my fault. Ain't no point in pouting. What am I pouting for? I messed up. I dropped the ball. That's on me. Ain't no point in pouting.
NBC4's Robert Kovacic. LA Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley has now been summoned to meet with Mayor Karen Bass.
He joins us live from LA City Hall with breaking details you'll see only on 4. Robert.
Michael and Colleen, you are exactly right, and I am going to quote you here because that is what sources told us. It is a complex and perhaps head-scratching moment in the firefight going on right now throughout the city of Los Angeles. Sources told NBC4 that Fire Chief Kristen Crowley this afternoon had been summoned to Mayor Bass's office, and that is where we are right now. We are standing outside of the office where the meeting that took place at 4 o'clock is still underway.
NBC4's Robert Kovacic.
So now they're going to have retaliation. There was a rumor or an article that came out that said that the mayor had fired the fire chief after that interview where she threw her under the bus. That was the rumor. I mean, she probably did want to fire her, but you can't, because how would that look right now? You're going to fire the chief after she expresses that, the ball was dropped and we don't have what we need to fight the fire. Now you're trying to cover it up. But look, so this is what I wanted to show, or one thing. Now look, all right, they might not want to let me show it. But here is reservoir for Pacific Palisades, right? And it says not only was 17 million, but no, hold on. Not only was the 117 million gallon Pacific Palisades reservoir empty, it was empty for more than a year for minor repairs to the cover. DWP workers are mad that the minor repairs were outsourced under $130,000 contract and then never completed. So $130,000 down the drain for simple repairs that were never completed. So there's a reservoir right there. 117 million gallons they could have had available. And if you guys don't quite understand how that would help the fire right now, well, the problem is a lack of water in the hydrants. If this was filled up, then they would have the water and the fire wouldn't be as bad, or they'd be able to fight it. What's it like, 0% contained right now? Maybe if they had some water in this big reservoir that was built for that purpose, then they have a better chance of being able to fight the fire. I mean, you guys in California, I don't understand. You know what? Can I say something right quick? Can I just be a little bit just transparent? I have never liked California. If you live there and you love California, shout out to you. It's not about you at all. You guys are fantastic. Love you. But even as a little boy, I never liked California. I was always anti-California. I don't even know why. When I was a kid, I ain't like California. I didn't like California TV shows, Beverly Hills 90210. I didn't like anything dealing with California. And it's more just about, I don't know. I can't even really put it in words. If you live there and you love California, that's your home, shout out to you. But I think it's about the people that were like out in front, the face, the leaders, I never liked it. Never liked it. Anyway, here's King Gavin, Emperor Gavin.
What is the situation with water? Obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out.
What is the situation with the water?
Hey, figure it out.
Water, obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out.
Yeah, figure it out. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, no worries, man. We'll figure it out. Hey, you know what? A home is behind me, burning, actively burning. But we'll figure it out. Look at the lower third on CNN. This is a CNN lower third. Look at this. 5 raging wildfires in LA County, 4 with 0% containment. And y'all know what that means. Basically, when there's no containment, it's just raging out of control and they're not able to stop it at all. When it's contained, it'll burn just in one place. And then eventually they're going to put it out. 0% contained, it's just going to keep spreading. And at a certain point, where is it going to go? What's going to happen? So yeah, Gavin Newsom, of course. That's why, part of the reason why I use the word governor. Now here is Pramila Jayapal. Is that her? Yeah, I believe it is her. Pramila Jayapal. She has a caption. It says, corporations got us into this mess, but even they can't escape the devastating reality of climate change. And she's showing a McDonald's basically on fire. So I guess she's saying since the McDonald's is burning down, that'll give you some kind of wake up as you got to do something about climate change. But look, again, last I checked, this particular part of the world is prone to wildfires. You have dry conditions, a lot of fuel for the fire, incompetent government. It doesn't understand how to prevent them properly, not raking the forest. They don't have any water in the reservoir. They don't have anything to fight the fire. So is it about climate change or is it about incompetence in the place where you know it's prone for fires? But like I said earlier, everything is blamed on the climate. All right. It could be anything. A snowflake in the sky, climate change. An ember from a fire dancing across the street, climate change. David Muir using pen cushions or whatever, clothespins to keep his jacket nice and nice on TV is climate change. Let's watch. So David Muir, of course, ABC News anchor. Let's see what he did to keep his jacket looking nice and spiffy on TV.
Shopping, a place to eat today, as you can see.
Ew, okay, let's not have that. I don't know what that was all about, lady. Let's get the COPD under control. All right, so look. You see in the back right here, he has wooden, which is crazy, wooden clothespins to keep his jacket tight and looking nice on TV. I couldn't get to my tailor in time, so I had to go use what I had in my arsenal. Okay, I couldn't tailor this jacket, so I had to use some clothespins. It's like, bro, come on, really? Is that what we doing, David Muir? And I've seen David Muir on television before. He's an actor. He's a Hollywood actor. That's him. a lot of your people on television, a lot of your journalists, they're actors. And the reason why they're actors is because they're able to express themselves in a way that is perfect or as close to perfect as possible. They're handsome, tall guy, can express themselves well. They can speak well. They're actors. He has all the traits of an actor. And of course, hey, if we're an actor, if we're on TV, we got to look good at all times. So it could be a fire raging. So what? Make sure your jacket looks perfect and it hugs your chest just right for the stay-at-home wives, right? That's the whole thing. The desperate housewives got to see your chest outline, bro. So make sure your jacket is nice and tight. Alrighty. Don't worry about the embers catching your clothespin on fire. Don't worry about that. Just worry about looking good for the camera. That's all you got to do. Alrighty. Again, California, right there. Not you guys, but your representatives, David Muir, Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi. I hate. Now, let's get to some more here. Hold on. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. This is Patricia Heaton talking about what all of Hollywood should be saying. All right. Now, I don't know this lady, but she's an actress. Maybe you guys recognize her or know her name. Let's watch.
To see what's happening in the Pacific Palisades in California, in Los Angeles. So many good friends who worked really hard for years and created beautiful homes for themselves and their families. It's all going up in smoke, and preventable, by the way. I mean, we have a mayor who cut the budget of the fire department in California by over $17 million. Fire is the biggest hazard in Los Angeles. Why would you cut that budget? There was no water in the fire hydrants in the Palisades. And by the way, she wasn't even in town during like fire season. A completely stupid trip to Ghana, completely unnecessary, on taxpayer funds. Maybe stop doing those trips and fund the fire department. This is what's infuriating. I don't hate California. I love California. We had 32 beautiful years there, and the people running the show just decimated the place. Drugs, homelessness with mentally ill people on the streets, crime. Our next door neighbors were burglarized there. Taxes. What are you paying all these taxes for? To see your neighborhood go up in smoke. It is so enraging that they took one of the most beautiful states, maybe the most beautiful state in the union, and just continued to destroy it. Gavin Newsom standing there with his hands in his pockets. Oh well. I just really feel for everybody there. I really do. Anyway.
So you guys said she's from Everyone Loves Raymond. And I never really saw that show. I saw like a few episodes of that show, but that wasn't really my thing. So everybody loves Raymond. All right. Shout out to her. Calling it how she sees it. Now here's Adam Carolla.
The guys who lost their $20 million homes on the ocean side of PCH will be knee-deep in the permit process. They will be trying to pull permits when the guys in the Winnebagos will have been back for months.
Okay, so what he's talking about right here is in order for people to build their houses, to rebuild their houses that they lost, a lot of these, celebrity homes, these mansions, whatever, they got to pull permits. And this process can take forever. Meanwhile, the guys who live in the RVs, the homeless people or whatever, they good. They could just get another RV and they right back. Or they might have moved the RV, and once the smoke clears, they're going to just park right back where they were.
months before those guys ever get a permit. As a matter of fact, good fucking luck. Because here,
I'm sorry for the cussing. Please pardon me. Pardon him.
Here's the deal. Alan Hamill and Suzanne Summers moved because they could not get a permit to rebuild their home of 40 years on the ocean on PCH, right?
Now, somebody said, what, pool permits? No, permits to rebuild the home, period. Like, it's a bunch of red tape in California. California is weird like that. You got to get permits to rebuild. And sometimes you might get denied. You can't even rebuild because you can't get the permit.
So here's what's going to happen. Let me just give you guys a little primer of what's going to happen. You know how Bill Maher seems real conservative now when he's like arguing with Jane Fonda about regulations, too many regulations, like strangling everything? Because remember, when Bill Maher tried to put solar in his house in Beverly Hills, that's when he turned against the government, because he saw what the government and the overreach of government and overregulation does. He got strangled. It took him 3 years to build a solar shack. He had a whole countdown on his show, you know, day 1,000 since I've got my permit for my solar. He turned. Okay. The people who live in Malibu, who live in Santa Monica, who live in the Palisades, those are some of the most progressive blue voters in the world, or in the United States. They are a bastion of blue. So what those guys did is, all the people in the Palisades, I checked it out. It's about 80% blue, 80% progressive, 80% Democrat. Now, these pussies are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure, how come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush, what's happening with the infrastructure. You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you fucking get what you get.
All right, I ain't gonna play too much more of that. You get the idea. What he's saying is right on point. It's like, look, y'all voted for him. Nah, don't cry now. Don't say that, oh, we have no water and all this. Nah, you got what you got. And hey, your house burned down. Good luck building that back. Good luck building that back. Good luck with your permit. That'll take years. Good luck with that. And don't come to Texas with your liberal ideology. Stay over there and try to rebuild for 5-10 years. You might die in the process if you're an elderly person, but it's okay. Hey, you got what you got. So yeah, shout out to Adam Carolla, hitting the nail square in the head. Bing. That's what he did right there. So yeah, I mean, hey, you voted for it. All right, there you go. Enjoy. Have a good time. Have a good time. And can you imagine if we were to get Kamala? Oh, listen, man. As an entire planet, not just as an entire country, as an entire planet, we dodged the craziest bullet ever. Kamala, one of the most incompetent people to ever exist in politics, is Kamala Harris. Now, speaking about Kamala, politicians, Jimmy Carter funeral. Let's go right here. We got Obama and Trump having a good old little chat. A good old chat for minutes at the funeral. Good chat. Now, how many of your, hold on, I'll play the sound. How many of your relatives fell out with you because you wanted to vote for the orange man? Oh, I love Barack Obama. I love Michelle Obama. How could you vote for the orange man? I hate you. Don't come to the dinner on Thanksgiving. Don't come for Christmas. Meanwhile, Obama and Trump chumming it up, chilling. But you can't do that.
President Obama there, elected in 2008, served 2 terms, and then yielded there to President Donald Trump.
Smiling, laughing, chilling. Now, Michelle was not there. I don't know why she wasn't there. There's rumors. I read that she wasn't there because Trump was going to be there and she didn't want to sit next to him. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not, but she was not there. But hey, man, the boys are having a good time. And they spoke for quite a while. And Melania was mourning because what I said in the previous video was that January 9th, 2024, Just 1 year ago is when her mom died. And the funeral was on January 9th, 2025, 2 days ago. So all of that's still going on in her mind. So she was pretty somber throughout the entire thing. And funerals can be depressing. They could be sorrowful, especially when you got somebody that died in your family that you actually know, you know? So yeah, there's more here.
Started the year as the would-be Democratic presidential nominee, and we all know what happened after that. Again, you didn't see a particularly warm greeting between the first couple and the second couple, but again, we are at a funeral, so one has to take that into account when trying.
That was the iciest so-called greeting ever. Now let's go back. So you have Kamala and her husband Doug sitting there, and enter Joe Biden and Jill Biden. Jill Biden sits right next to Kamala, doesn't say a word, doesn't acknowledge her, doesn't do any kind of head nod, no handshake, nothing. She literally turned her body away. She turned her shoulder away from her. That right there is some crazy body language. Look at it one more time. Look.
Would be Democratic presidential nominee, and we all know what happened.
Look, right here, she's going to turn her shoulder away.
After that, again, you didn't see a particular.
They hate Kamala. They hate her. And again, remember, Kamala's the vice president right now. It ain't January 20th yet. She's the vice president right now, and Joe's the president. They ain't say a word to her. They ain't say anything to her. It was crazy. And there's more. Here we have Kamala looking at Trump and Obama didn't say anything to Kamala either. Obama didn't say nothing to her. Trump didn't say, nobody said anything to Kamala. Nobody wanted to talk to her. Nobody came over to her. She was given the cold shoulder by everybody in the room. They all don't like her. Left, right, they universally hate her. And look, she back there looking. Can you imagine being hated like that? Oh, she's black. I can't tell. Obama is blacker than her. And they love Obama. Trump and Obama having a good conversation. They love Obama. They love Michelle. They don't love you, though. It's not about skin color. It's about you as a person. They don't like you. I don't know why they try to make her try to become the president. That was so dumb. They can see that she's not a good candidate, that everybody hates her. It would have been the same thing if she were to become the president. And when she was out there on the campaign trail, they knew that the American people didn't like her. But when she was out on the campaign trail, they knew that we did not like her as an American people. Her own people that she was going to speak to at these rallies, which had nobody there, booing her, heckling her, everything. And look at W. W looking more like HW every single day. I saw George W. and Laura. I thought it was HW and Barbara. I was like, is Barbara back to life? What happened? I thought Barbara been dead. I thought it was HW and Barbara. That's crazy what time does. We got Pence in the background. Shout out to Pence. He shook Trump's hand. Reluctantly, maybe, but he did shake his hand as a gentleman, as a man would do. All right. But yeah, HW looking real old. And of course, there's more. So here's Al Gore, the father of the internet, the father of climate change, global warming, acid rain, whatever you wanted to say at a certain time. Look, Al Gore, I'll give Al Gore some credit. Al Gore has been able to, hold on, something in my teeth. Al Gore's been able to reinvent himself over the years. When I first saw him, he was talking about acid rain. Then he became the father of the internet. Then he became the climate change guy. He's done everything. Almost a president. He's done quite a bit over the years. So here's Al Gore and Mike Pence and Mike Pence's wife, Karen, when Trump and Melania come in. So we get Al Gore to stand up, shake Trump's hand. Mike Pence does. It's a brief pause. Hold on. Brief pause right there between the end of Al Gore's handshake and the beginning of Mike Pence's. Brief pause. See, right there? A little bit of a pause, but still, all right, let's shake hands. And then Melania as well shook Mike Pence's hand. Class act on both sides. Class act on both sides. Hey, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of you. Maybe we had a falling out. We ended on bad terms, but hey, we're at this funeral. Let's shake hands, be men, and move forward. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Which is why when I saw the thing between Kamala and the old man, what's his name, Bruce? When I saw that, at first I was like, okay, let's see what happened because I don't like the no handshake. But then when I realized that she reached for his cane hand, I'm like, she's just an idiot. Why would you reach for a man's cane hand? Tell me something, give me a handshake. But anyway, that was class act on all sides. All right. Now, do I have time for this last piece here? Oh, okay. Greenland. I wanted to get into the scamming mayor, but I don't got time. Greenland, right quick. For the normies out there that are afraid of the whole Greenland situation.
I mean, I thought it was really interesting, and I was just,
now who's this guy? This guy, what's his name? This is the All In Pod, and his name Shameth. Bro, you got about 18 P's in your last name. I ain't gonna pronounce that, but let's just watch. The All In Pod is where this is from. Okay, that'll work. I could pronounce All In Pod. I could not pronounce your last name with all these P's in it.
caught off guard at how the media tried to portray it as Trump being Trump.
Goofy, whatever, colorful.
But I think like what I've realized, even with the California fire thing, the guy has this prescient way of, he may not say it in the way that it works for some people, but he's just really on top of this stuff. So I just sent Nick a thing. So I started to learn a little bit more about why he wants to take over Greenland. And it really comes down to one very basic idea here. Because of climate change and other things, the Arctic ice shelf is melting. And the more and more it melts, it opens up a shipping lane in the
Didn't I say that? Yes, I did.
Northern Passage for a lot of critical goods. And so if you had some sort of strategic agreement with Canada and Greenland, you effectively have this monopoly control over something that could become as important as the Panama Canal.
Exactly. There we go. Hold on. Round of applause. Exactly. It's what I've been saying the whole time. You know, but they want to say, "Oh, Trump, you just want to take Greenland. Why you want to take Greenland? He's looking in the future. You know, you do certain things for the future. I mean, at one point, Alaska did not belong to us. We had to buy that from Russia, didn't we? So you do certain things for a specific reason, for the future. It's all that it is. I mean, Russia do the same thing. Russia took Crimea. When they took Crimea, nobody cared because that's pretty much already theirs. But then when it came to Ukraine, now we got to go fight them. It wasn't nothing but an excuse because we want to weaken Russia through ways of war. But we could also, I don't want to say weaken Russia. We could get a leg up over other nations by doing things like potentially acquiring Greenland and or having an agreement with them when speaking about the trade route. Very simple. But anyway, and also, if we don't get Greenland, who's going to get Greenland? Because everybody wants that shipping route. Russia, China, other parts of Europe, they want that shipping route for themselves. But if we can have an early stake in it, why wouldn't we do that? Shout out to Alaska, Cheryl. Shout out to you guys out there in the great white north. It might be an annex. It might be just an agreement. I don't know. But we'll see. Could be a purchase. We'll see how the whole thing plays out. But to act like the Greenland talk is nonsense itself. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Exactly, Mike. Somebody's going to get Greenland. Why not us? Exactly. Norway can't hold on to no Greenland. Norway can't hold on to Greenland. I mean, they might be able to hold on to Greenland if Montenegro wants it or some other kind of random place wants it. Was it? Is it Denmark or Norway? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying the same thing. Greenland is Denmark. Yeah, Denmark. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got some super chats and we have calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, the Kingdom of Denmark. That's part of their kingdom, Greenland. Shout out to Denmark. But hey, Denmark, you might need to go, let that go. Let that go. All right, thank you to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy, who says, prayers for all affected by LA wildfires. LA, God bless. Also, he says, ABL, you think Trump should appoint DeSantis governor of California? If he could, that'd be nice. But I don't see the Californians wanting a DeSantis there. Unfortunately. Thank you to Apple again, who says, Apple, you think DEI and wokeness contributed to the fires? Of course. Ain't no doubt about it. 100%. And not because of wokeness itself, but because rather than being focused on fighting fire, rather than be focused on things that could help fight the fire and prevent the fire, you worried about things that don't matter, like DEI and other things. Thank you to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy again, who says, ABL, all four women of the Supreme Court voted against Trump. So did Chief Justice. I'm hugely disappointed in John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett. Disgusting. When you say against Trump, what do you mean? Thank you to J Flo, who says Gavin Newsom has got to go. Recall number 2. Salute ABL. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Thank you to Garfowski, who says 1 year. Lots of love, ABL. Keep it up. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. And you got the 1 year Monopoly go. I can't see what that says. But shout out to you for being a member for 12 months. I appreciate that. Thank you to Apple again, who says 10 days till J6ers get pardoned. Pray for them all. Right on. Early Out of Reason says, speaking of scammers, Andrew Tate is a scumbag. I can't believe Trump's lawyer was moist talking to him on Benny's show. Disappointing to say the least. Yeah, I was asking on my Twitters, like, what's the purpose of conservatives embracing Andrew Tate? I don't understand. I mean, he may have a following and he may say some things that some of us agree with, but he got too much extra stuff going on. I mean, basically, this guy runs cam girls. How is that a thing we should really embrace? I don't understand. I'm not saying we should just shun him, like be actively, I don't know, but embracing them and putting them on shows that conservatives have, I don't get that part. It's pretty weird to me. Let's go. Thank you to Lawfare, who says, I was snowed in for 2 days straight. I can't complain too much because I had plenty of sticky green and my girlfriend and good sleep. Hey, you good, man. You got everything you need. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, please ask Ivan if Ivan wants Trump to succeed. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, hey, ABL, been busy teaching the youngins, but been watching your videos. Can't wait till Inauguration Day. Take care. You're the best. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right. And I cannot wait till Inauguration Day as well. Thank you to Tom Air, who says, we must fix these websites, dictionaries, thesauruses. Hey, we got to fix we've pretty much butchered the English language with all these new terms, all these new things that don't mean what they are supposed to mean. LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. Thank you to Brian Henderson, who says, save your tree, stay fresh and squeaky clean with the bidet. There you go. I like that. That should be the slogan for all these bidet companies. Thank you to Martha Allen, who says, I say, please continue to pray for Trump. Heart emoji, prayer emoji, 120. Right on. Thank you to Tom again, who says, overpopulated, climate change, trickle water. Yeah, exactly. Also, anything for the Marxist dictionary. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, New York, the big grift. $9 fees to pay for homeless illegal aliens force you to pitch in. And that's what it looks like to me. I mean, that's what you got a lot of tax revenue in New York City, but now we need more for the MTA to do what? $9. Think at the time who says cubicle to nursing home pipeline F the libs in New York City. Wow, that's crazy. Cubicle to nursing home. Think at the time who says obesity plus bad schools plus hyperspecialization killed most. Tom also says males would love to teach all boys class schools. You know what, Tom? I was thinking about this recently. Here's my suggestion, and I know some are going to not like it. They're going to try to call me a dictator or a slave driver or whatever, but I think this is going to make sense. Now, let's go Baltimore, Maryland, for example. Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, these kids can't read at all, and they're graduating like that. You know, I know I covered the story of the boy in Baltimore who had a 0.13 or something, some kind of crazy. It was a 0 point something GPA, and he was ranked 60 out of 120 in his class. So a 0 point something GPA makes you the dead center ranked in your class as far as GPA is concerned. That means everybody can't read in your class. Basically, they're all not going. They can't read. So in these kind of environments where that's going on, I would not have school. What I would have is trade schools for the boys, and you know what? Not even trade school for the boys. Trade school and home ec, nursing classes for the girls. Because why not? Why not? Because here's what's going to happen. If you can't read by the third grade and you're just being pushed through school, not learning anything, you'll be 15 years old in prison, if you're lucky, or dead. You'll do that for a while. And when you're 30 years old, 32 years old, you've already been to prison a bunch of times. You've already been shot. You might be hospital. You might be paralyzed. At that point now, okay, I want to become a plumber. I've seen it time and time again. So you know what I would do? I would have mandatory trade school after the third grade. Okay, we're going to give you a test. If you can't read by that time, trade school. Third grade, yes, I would. And you be in there working. Yes, you would. And you know what I would do? If you want to try to not go to this school, we're going to send you to prison. Oh, yeah. I would do that. Because your only hope at that point, if your parents don't care, if you don't care, is a thing where you could use your hands and develop a skill. Rather than getting that skill when you get to be 32 years old and already been in prison, I'll give it to you when you 8, 9, 10 years old. Why not? That's what I would do to help a lot of these urban inner city ghetto areas. Mandatory trade school, mandatory nursing school. If you can't read at the third grade. Are y'all with me? Would you invest into that? Does it make sense? And guess what? I teach some of the classes. I sure would. I teach them. I don't care about the money. That don't make a difference. I'll make money another kind of way. I'll volunteer. If they do that right here where I live in Chattanooga, hey, sign me up. I'll do it. Sign me up. If the kids want to fight, I'll beat them in the wine. I will start them in the wine. I'm playing, but not playing for real. Sign me up. I'll teach the kids. Am I right, wrong? What's going on? Yeah, let me know. Eugene says, how can you not read? You'd be surprised. It's grown people right now that can't read. Grown people right now who cannot read. You put C-Spot run in front of them, they're going to be stuttering. If you put C-Spot run in front of them, they'll be stuttering. What's the point of getting pushed through school, doing nothing, playing basketball at gym, and you say, okay, I went to school? Nah, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Hold on. Eucalyptus says, no, ABL, I'm a teacher, and you are wrong and out of touch. Get out of here. You have no idea what you're talking about. Both of my grandparents are teachers in Roanoke, Virginia. My granddad, the first black teacher in Roanoke City Public Schools. Okay. They taught me a lot about education. My dad, very educated, master's degree. They told me, if you get to the 3rd grade and you can't read on grade level, you're doomed. So I'm like, how do I solve that? And I come from hood schools too. So I seen where some kids couldn't read at all and other kids could read. The key difference was the parents at home that care. My mother and my father cared about me a lot. They loved me a lot. My whole family loved me a lot. I know probably about 400 family members. A lot of these kids don't know any of their family except for their grandma, and that's it. And she 80 years old. She can't help but know. She can't read herself. So there's nobody there to teach them anything. So all they're going to do is become a crash out, become some kind of zombie, some kind of monster like a Jordan Neely. They'll become that person on the subway train beating you up. Or do ABL's way, put them in a trade school so they can be working on cars and doing things with their hands. Oh, Americans don't want to work. Americans aren't skilled. My boys would be skilled. They'll know what to do, and they'll go out there and they'll get this money. And then once they can get out of that hood environment, get money, get skills, they can send their kids to better schools, better neighborhoods, better everything, and their kids can be better than them. Their kids can rise above where they were. Does that make sense? Well, whatever. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a hood person. I don't know nothing. I'm just dumb. Right? Anyway, I'm getting triggered. Shout out to you, Tom. Thank you, man. Tom also says FBI Director Chris Wray went to an all-boys school. Correct. Tom also says hashtag truth, fake DEI hated, unprotected, dadless boys. Tom Air also says obesity blocks absorption of vaccines. Tom also says hashtag call it, fake DEI, NEO, feminism, fake unions, etc. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says burning people out to move animals in. It's Lanita says governor, mayor, fire chief are done. That fire didn't care about your tax bracket. The elites are going to be the reason why they're out of office. Thank you to Tom again who says don't need no man cause this. Now they begging. Correct. Thank you to Ron Henderson who says Christina, the new KKK of LA. 100%. Thank you to Tom again who says anticipate right-wing alpha saving, what's that? Cat? Lady movie? Thank you to Regina, the godmother who says don't like California. Me either, ABL. I never even liked the Fresh Prince. I hear you. Yeah, Bel Air, 90210, all of that. I'm good. Thank you to Good Samaritan's Kitchen who says, have you noticed the switch from global warming to climate change? Absolutely. Yeah, I saw that. Because every event that happens weather-wise, tornado, hurricane, too cold, too hot, snow, rain, thunder, lightning, it's all based on climate change. So then, hey, you know what? This really bad rainstorm that happened that flooded your particular area was caused by climate change. Can I have some monies to help with climate change? It's a grift. Thank you to Tom again who says probably need a permit to have a kid in LA. Exactly. Also who says build back better. Still waiting for a permit in LA. Thank you to Lawfare who says while people are throwing a hissy fit because Trump and Obama are just being civil. Yawn. If you're a next president, of course you're going to be classy and be civil. Yes. Thank you to Tom again who says Al Gore 100% F with Trump. Right on. Alrighty. So we got everything right there. Shout out to you guys. Let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right. If you're living in 90210, Bel Air, Baldwin Hills, all that kind of good stuff, hey, shout out to you. All right. It ain't my cup of tea. But I'm not going to be the location police. All righty. Hey, everybody can't be a nurse, but guess what though, Freebird? If you can't read by the 3rd grade, what are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to do if you can't read by the 3rd grade? Who are you going to be in life? You have no parents, nobody that cares about you. You have nothing. What are you going to be in life? A crack smoker or a crack dealer? Either way, you probably be dead by the time you get to be 25. All right. And the number to call again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, I would tell everybody trade school, nursing. I would give the kids hard skills they can use at any time, whether it be in a job, whether it be at home. In general, they'll have hard skills and they'll have discipline. I mean, look, this is a thing I've been thinking about for years. I thought about this for years. When I was still liberal in my 20s, I was thinking about doing that. Because I saw it when I was a kid. I would see the kids in school and how they would behave. I saw it then. I'm like, man, something's got to give, because these kids are going to be complete losers in the future at best if they don't die early. 818, you're on the line with speaker 2.
Yeah, hi, ABL. This is 8-bit only. So one of the things I wanted to go ahead and point out, especially when it comes to LA, I get it that you don't like it. A lot of people don't. And to be honest with you, I miss my home sometimes, but I moved out to Texas. I love Texas. But you got to understand something, too, that the people that change the city are usually people from outside. I always had to tell people in Texas, like, hey, I'm not here to change it. I want it more Texas. Because when I move somewhere, I tell my kids that, hey, you got to respect the culture there. You know, no offense to you, I don't like your side of the town either, you know. Culturally, it's not what I'm used to. But Texas, I like Texas, you know. But I mean, the thing is what I mean by some of that is that you got people that go into the state of California, big-eyed, bright-eyed, think they got the next big thing, and either they leave broken, they go back home, and they change by, you know, voting certain laws, leaving people like me who was born there, you know, high and dry, nowhere else to go, you know. And the thing is, like, I first off, you know, I feel like I had to leave my home. I hate that. You know, I loved where I grew up because that's where all my memories are. That's where my kids are born. That's where I got married, you know. But for the sake of my family, you know, I left. But it goes into things like even when we started having kids, right? My wife, when our kids started going to school, she noticed that, you know, oh, you know, this parent is from this country, or, oh, this person's from that state, and not realizing that most people are not even from the state, right? And this is the whole dynamic of how California is, and the reason why it's so messed up is, you know, just like my father's a foreigner. He's not from the U.S. You know, my mother is, but not my father. And my wife, she's not from the U.S. And she didn't miss that dynamic. I'm like, hey, look at our kids. You know, our kids are born here, but you know, she's not from the country. I am. You know, my father's not from the country. There's a whole dynamic that goes there. But you know, if you stay there, you know, usually, you know, you make it, you do well. But yeah, usually people change the rules and they leave because they find out they can't survive there. Then they go back home to whatever state or country they're from, or they end up homeless on the streets as crackhead, or they end up doing porn, or, you know, they just, you know, survive like I did, but barely. And then if you make it great, but that's very few of us, right? But I mean, yeah, I get it. You don't like it, you know. I'm just saying I miss it sometimes, but, you know, my new home, I love even more because, you know, I feel more free. But all in that too, you know, yeah, I left because of all the problems. They have so many problems there. And I want to add one more thing before I go. Adam Carolla, right? And he was talking about how he was trying to get a fireman job, but they wouldn't hire him because he was white. I could tell you 110%. I feel like I'm more comfortable to speak out about this because I'm white. And the thing is, it's like I have been turned down at so many jobs just because I'm white. Even when I used to go ahead and do when I worked in restaurants, I used to knock on the back doors and be like, "Hey, I need a job," and either I had to compete with illegals, or they point me in the direction. Sorry, we don't hire your kind. Go down the street over there. And I'm telling you right now, it happens so much. But and some people will be like, "Well, why didn't you speak out? Why didn't you go ahead and sue? Why did?" They don't believe white people. They just don't, you know. So I mean, it's one of those things where either I had to work under the table, or I had to find, you know, just be really creative just to get a job. So anyway, that's all I wanted to go ahead and say. Love your show, man. Keep on rocking. Love you, dude.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like actual real racism against white people for what? Because, oh, it's too many white guys in the force. I don't care what color they are. I couldn't care less. Like, can you do the job or not? That's all that really matters. 260, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL, this is BBP the man. How you doing today?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Doing all right. Well, I was just going to kind of call in and touch on the California thing. I kind of came in midway, so I'm not sure if you touched on it. But did you know that there was like two billionaires that, like a billionaire couple that own like quite a bit of the water, and they use it for like the cashews and like that palm water you see in grocery stores, like pomegranates and stuff?
I mean, not surprised. Not surprised at all.
Yeah, I guess they even said like they could like cover about 70 or 875,000 people, about like the size of San Francisco for like a decade with how much they water, like the nuts and everything else. I just feel like it was kind of a story to touch on, and like the reservoir was being used more for like watering all that and everything than it was for giving it back to the citizens, which the citizens also paid for taxes, seeing it's a reservoir.
Yeah, but you know,
that was a little messed up.
That all boils down to poor planning, to trying to cater to the rich elite people there. And it's like, okay, well, you still have regular people, normal people that need water. You still got environmental issues that will require the water. And beyond all that, okay, before we utilize the water to put out the fire, how about we just rake the actual forest and maintain it to prevent the fire?
Right.
All of the things
Correct.
they could have done, they failed.
Yep. Even something else that kind of lights up the fires and everything, the electrical infrastructure, some of it's like from like the 1950s. So some of that can kind of go out, spark, the wind, the heat, the dry heat. All of it has a lot. You're right.
Right.
Well, I guess that's kind of just like kind of thinking of let's be progressive but not fix things that could affect us now.
Right.
But, well, I just wanted to touch on that. Will you have a good day? Good hearing you say your message.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep, you too. Take care, man.
All right, great call. Yeah, I understand, farmers, but I mean, okay, you have farmers in the state. You have everybody in the state that needs water. Okay, so how do we have enough water for everybody to be able to use? And the bigger issue was that the reservoir was offline because they're trying to do a repair to it, and the repair never got done. That's just incompetence in government. You had a contract, $130,000 to fix this cover, and it never got fixed, and the water never got filled back up. So it was just not there when it was needed. 303, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, my name is Rex Garvin. And I definitely want to say I'm a black conservative, and you are definitely a listening pleasure. It's very rare. I know back in the day when we were Trump supporters, we were called Uncle Toms, we were called sellouts. And that was 2016 when he first came into office. People didn't know what to make of a black conservative. They thought when we voted for Trump, we were the Antichrist. But you are very unique. You are sanity for a lot of people that are trying to figure out this crazy life puzzle. And you are sanity, and you are doing great work. And I saw you on the Hodge Twins, too. So all three of you guys together were dynamite, man, because your logic is totally common sense. It's very healing, and you are definitely what the doctor ordered in the morning.
Thank you, man. It means a lot to me. I really, really appreciate that from you, man. Thank you.
Definitely. You take care of yourself.
Same to you now. Hey, that's a great call. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. It really does. And what he was saying about how they didn't know what to think about us at first. When we first came out, 2015, 2016, that's 100% real. All types of names I got called. I mean, I still get some of that on some of these other apps like TikTok where they don't know anything, where, they're just figuring out what fire is. They discovered fire just yesterday on TikTok. So some of them still say that, but for the most part, I'm becoming normalized. And that was part of my whole thing. Right when I came on YouTube, I wanted to normalize being a black conservative when I came here. And I think that I've been able to aid in that goal quite a bit. 310, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. Hi, ABL. How you doing, sir?
Oh, well, about yourself?
Doing good. It's in spite of. I called a lot of my friends from California to see how they're faring up. You know, I used to work for the city of Los Angeles for almost 30 years in the tree division. And a lot of the Palisades over there, that used to be my area where I used to do emergencies. And trees fall down people's houses and stuff like that. I used to go respond and used to send my crews up over there when I was a supervisor. And man, I tell you, the devastation that's happening over there, it was preventable. All that stuff happening in California was preventable. And the thing about it is that you have the Sierra Club and everything like that. That's a heavy lobby. The tree huggers are serious. I mean, we got dead trees that people are hugging out on. I'm talking about 100% dead, and they hugging these trees. They don't want you to cut these trees down, and it's ridiculous. But the thing about it is that deforestation and everything that need to be done in that state need to happen. I mean, I'm an arborist. I'm a certified arborist, and I tell you that I got calls to come from Georgia to come to California to help run crews out there to get rid of trees. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I'm good in Georgia. But the thing about it that, you know, even with these trees, with the stress of no water and everything, pine beetles and everything, that's what causes trees to die. And you know, they're creating stress. The heat and the fires that's going up over there right now, it's a regular thing, these Santa Ana winds, and it should not have happened. And the thing about it is that you got homeless peoples up there camping out and everything. And right now, you know how stupid people are these days is they go ahead and start fires in the city. I'm talking about this, you know, it's act like it's a joke, it's a game or something like that. These people are so ridiculous that they act like it's a game, you know, that they would want to go ahead and start a fire within the city. But the thing about it is the fire is moving, and it's getting closer and closer. Once across the 405, now it's in the inner cities. Once across the 10th freeway, the Santa Monica freeway, it's in the inner cities and everything like that. And then what's happening? More and more homeless people. So you don't have the people who want to be homeless. You got the people who didn't want to be homeless. Now they are, because it's just like anywhere else. It's hard to find a place to move, and if you don't have nobody that can take you in, you're gonna be out cold, and out in the cold, that's for sure. And as far as like the permitting process, oh man, these people it's not gonna be no joke. That place is gonna be devastated for the next 10, 20 years or so, because you know you got thousands of homes. You only got so many inspectors. I mean, they got to go and inspect your site. I'll tell you, I was an inspector. I used to have to go out and inspect the sites and everything, walk the site, inspect the site. Everything's going to have to be brought up to today's standard, the standard on which they have implemented. And you know, those woke standards or the green standards that they want to go ahead and put up on people, you know, the HDA and everything like that. I'm telling you, up in Palisades, they had like 1-lane highways. Well, guess what? That means they're going to be opening up the roads. It's going to be making so they can get the fire trucks up there, because when I used to drive my truck up there, man, sometimes I had to back up. And, you know, the people are so unruly sometimes, they didn't want you backing up in their driveway to turn around. Oh, man, it's crazy. But that's just how it was. But you know what? You just got to just pray for these people, pray for, like I said, keep praying for our nation. We got how many more days, brother? We got, how many days? What's today's date?
Yeah, we got about nine more days.
9 more days before redemption. You know, that America get back on 2 feet. And I tell you, we need it. We need to get this in common sense again. Trump was right back in 2019, and Gavin Newsom don't want to hear it. It's not being political. It's not being political about it. It's just telling the truth. And the thing about it, that they didn't want to hear it. You know, like I said, wherever they're using that money for, it ain't for the people. It's not for the people. But the thing about it like this, brother, it's going to get better. right now, pain is being felt for the rich and the poor right now. And, but we all gonna have to come together one way or another as a nation, and even the liberals are starting to find out the way they were thinking was stinking thinking, that's for sure. But you know what, we're going to believe in God, and he's still on the throne in spite of, of what's going on. And we're just going to just continue to pray for our country, continue to pray for you, my brother, and all the chat folks and everything in the ABL land. Amen. We love you, brother, and just keep on doing what you're doing, okay, ABL? Love you, brother.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great call. Fantastic. I mean, that's really where we are right now. We got to just wait. We got to just get this country back, and we get the president back 9 days. So you guys in California, take your state back as well, because you guys, in my opinion, are kind of far gone. 707, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, you're speaking to Margie in 707. I live in Northern California, and I got to say, it does not surprise me about our beloved governor and what he's trying to pull and push off, and just kind of slick out of it. His incompetence, his vanity, his thirst for higher office, kind of like Kamala, the two of them. They just, always saw it like on the monkey bars, like when you swing out. These guys never wanted to stay on a rung. They just wanted to keep on going down without ever actually doing anything in the process. And I'm kind of sad about everybody calling out California. Well, you deserve it and all this. Why didn't you vote him out? I tried to vote him out. I was part of trying to recall him. But there's only so much one person can do, and that's, listeners, viewers, whatever you are, you know better. You know that many things are not legit, shall we say. There could be differences on who wins, in some of these things around here. There's shenanigans. We're not immune, and especially the stakes are high. And I live in a very poor county, one of the worst. And this last summer, there was like 14 different fires within like 20-something days. The land, we live on Clear Lake. That's what it is. I'm going to say that. It's a big lake, 210-mile circumference. And they were having fires coming up around there. And just all of a sudden, they kept calling them wildfires. Nothing wild about it. Right? Oh, just a wildfire breakout right next to the freeway. All along. Come on now. I feel bad for them. We have fortunately had an abundance of water from the lake. And that it's gone down because another county owns the rights to the water, so they're draining it out. But for now, we can use a lot of our water. And I just think that it's despicable what's going on. There's been a lot of graft that if that fire chief has been fired, it seems like she told the truth. Nobody wants to fess up because, I think it's a breakdown in all these departments. They need to know what their needs are. The fire department should know they need water. So somehow somebody should have thought something along the way that go like, hey, maybe we better check out how our stores are. There should be interdepartmental workings and not just chest thumpings and collecting the big checks. These people actually, we need 1 million DeSantis's and junior DeSantis's that get in there, do their job, and bring it on. They clean it up fast in Florida. My brother has been through 2 hurricanes down there, and no, not around his neighborhood. He gets on it fast, and that we have the resources. But look at our poor people in the Carolinas, and Tennessee, wherever, still in Louisiana from Katrina. Okay, you can look everywhere. Up here in Northern California, my girlfriend got burned out of the house, and I had to run from 2 different fires up here. You know, I love this place. You know, it's cheap enough for me. I can't go across the nation and then subject myself to other stuff. I know what my expense is more or less going to be. You know, I'm not running. This is my home. These are fools. And, you know, you think one person can try, but, you know, my little area goes Republican. But the guys that represent us have 4 areas, and we're outvoted. So we don't deserve it. So please, people, when you think reflectively and reflexively that you're going to say, oh, they deserve it. Oh, no, not us all. Come on now. Come on now. That's all I got to say. Just have some love and charity and pray that we come together as a people and we kind of run these guys out with our votes, or, you know, at least with our ire in a respectful manner.
Right on.
Anyway.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, back at you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and go to 786. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Oh, fine. Yeah, this is Amrox from the Superchat once again. Yeah, thanks for calling me out about the snow in 1977 in Miami. I had a little snow then. Of course, I was living in Long Island, New York at the time, and we got more than that. And you were right, because, you know, around that time, either that winter or the following winter, Buffalo, New York got like 12 feet of snow, and I'm not exaggerating.
Wow.
12 feet.
It's crazy.
So, you know, you're right about global cooling, because the same environmental alarmists were talking about a new ice age. And there were even, I think, even paintings and predictions that 2018, the Arctic ice cap was going to be pushing with giant glaciers right into New York City. Of course, what happened there?
Exactly. It's just, you know, people, they just want to try to find a way to explain some of these crazy weather events. But, you know, the Earth sometimes does what it wants to do, and there's no way to really explain it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and I found it really crazy when you put on that one activist gal earlier who was linking what was happening to the wildfires in L.A. to you know, America's support of Israel or against the Palestinians in Palestine, because my wife, who's from Indonesia, a lot of the Islamists in Indonesia are saying the same thing this gal is. It's I'm not kidding. It's amazing how it's being repeated worldwide. And my wife gets mad because she follows Indonesia. They're having a lot of flood problems there and all that. And they're saying, well, it's God's judgment against America for not supporting the Palestinians in Gaza. And I'm like, and she's like, yeah, what about Indonesia with all these natural disasters? God judging Indonesia? You know? And of course, too, bringing up California real quick, I know one man talked about the electrical infrastructure, and among all the other incompetencies and environmental failures of California, is that the electrical lines, I understand, they allow a lot of tree growth and all around the high power lines. They don't trim them back and give the electrical lines ample clearance, and there's a fire hazard right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious too. You would think that if you have competent governance, that they would address something so obvious, but obviously the government is not very competent.
Yeah, they're beholden to this ideology, these leftist ideologies. That's why, because we can't cut the trees because it means more global warming, and and they do that. And I have a little confidence because you see they're trying to repair that reservoir. You're talking about a state where it took about 2 years and I don't know how many millions of dollars, and it made national news for them to put in one public toilet bathroom somewhere, basically a glorified outhouse.
Right.
You remember that joke? And of course, too, and finally, I want to say about Karen Bass is, I don't know if you know that, she was a disciple of Fidel Castro.
Not surprising.
Cuba. Excuse me?
I said not surprising at all.
Oh, not surprised. Yeah. Well, I remember her on a tape of her on a broadcast years ago where she said her hero was Fidel Castro. And later on, I was learning, I think Glenn Beck was talking about and all that. There's documented cases when she was in her youth going on these activist flights down to Cuba. Of course, just real quick about Karen Bass, I think one reason why she pouted at the reporter is she got heartbroken. She realized she was not Fidel Castro in Cuba because she couldn't send him right away to a gulag. and of course, there's one big difference between Karen Bass and Fidel Castro, and that is it looks like Karen Bass is on her way to destroying LA much faster than Fidel Castro has destroyed Cuba.
Very true.
And that's just what I say. But I'm busy thanking everybody on the internet or wherever, especially on social media, who, all these people who badmouth Trump and all that, and the judges with the phony trials. And oh, by the way, Jack Smith resigned.
I saw that. Yeah, from the DOJ.
He resigned today. And all these people, I was just been going around thanking them. Everyone's getting mad at them and all that. And I said, no, I've been thanking them because they're a big reason why Trump won.
That's right. Absolutely. Because the whole thing, that the lawfare.
Exactly. Yeah. My advice to people out there, if you know another Trumper out there, thank them, They helped get Trump elected.
Right on.
Okay. I'm going to let you go. I know there's 2 million and one other callers. It's good to talk to you again, Mr. ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, they most certainly did get him in there. They did get him in there for sure. 504, they're line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to all the callers and you. Very great stream. I was able to catch the beginning of it also. And basically, I am going to talk about the wildfires, but I'll say about the drones. Eugene was wondering about them. And in my state in Louisiana, the governor was saying that the drones were looking over the nuclear reactors in the state and he wanted them shot down.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and Trump is going to release information about the drones soon.
I hope that he does that, and also a bunch of other things that we have some issues, some concerns about. Maybe some UFO disclosure. That'd be nice.
Yes, I would like to see that too, obviously. And I think that, because it looks like they're fighting something flying in the sky. They're looking over nuclear reactors. They're also over in the West Coast before the fires happened. And over in California, there's many of them being seen over there too.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And also, I'm glad that you got some snow because snow could be kind of fun for people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, snow is fun within reason. When it kind of like strangles traffic for a long time, that's one thing. But you're able to go outside and enjoy it, get pictures, have family memories. It's always a good thing.
Yeah. In 2008 and 2004, it snowed in my city and it was very fun. And it's just that the weather usually isn't right for the snow to completely materialize on the ground. But, eventually it'll snow down here again. But it's always interesting when it happens.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get into the fires. So basically with the fires, I've been keeping up with these different streamers that were covering it. And basically, we're watching it in the beginning and these fires are really big and it looks like something like a volcano in Hawaii. And it looks like, apocalypse is happening and many people, elderly people of different, all ages are fleeing their houses. And then we saw as the thing came through and the embers came through and they had to clear out the vehicles with a bulldozer because they're in the way. And all these houses, one by one, were burning. And then that same scene later on was it looked like a horror movie and everything, all the cars were destroyed and everything was decimated. Then as the night went on, it spread all over and it went bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just a catastrophe. And one thing I will say, it's good to have, unity came from it, which is good. Many people are praying about it and stuff. And that's good to see people come together. But to see this big monstrous thing spread everywhere was a really horrid thing to witness.
Yeah, it really is. And, the way the fires are right now, a lot of them are 0% contained. I hope we don't see the fires spread too much more than where they are, but unfortunately, it probably will.
Right, and there's certain factors that are at play here, and I'll tell you everything that I've been seeing from people over there, what they've been saying. So, yeah, the fire department, as you showed, is, does not have the resources, in my opinion, that they should have. They ran out of water, and there's this situation where they were dropping water from the ocean into the different areas. Then they're saying that the salt water is bad, and this other factor is that some believe that this was done on purpose. This is all alleged. Somebody allegedly was caught with a blowtorch, but they were let go because there's no evidence. But that doesn't make any sense because that's kind of weird to have a blowtorch. And maybe allegedly some propane tanks were found. And so if there could have been possibly, through a conspiracy theory lens, there may have been some additional foul play here.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you get caught with a blowtorch. I mean, what are we doing? You see there's fires all over the place. What could you possibly have a blowtorch for in that environment? I mean, it's clear there's a bunch of foul play going on.
Right. And also there's a lot of, alleged arson and people like in different spots setting different fires. And you showed the spot in LA where it's like people are driving with their Teslas and they see this wall and they see fire coming from the wall. It's like, how did that get there? And I understand the embers are blowing in the wind, but it's like sometimes it looks like people might be setting out little spots.
Of course. Absolutely. Clearly.
Right. And the streamer Smoke and Skin did very good coverage on that. And I was watching some stuff he does with California. I see the different streams and it looks, very like the beach looks very nice. And they have a lot of cool places over there. And I think it would be nice if it wasn't so messed up. But there's a lot of people over there that like it in spite of what's going on because they can see the beauty in it. But really, the government in California really messed them up. And I can confirm what I saw earlier, that mayor, she was, involved with Marxism and Castro, and they wanted to hijack California. Partially, they have influence with media, with Hollywood. And also it was many believe a beautiful state. And, they want to destroy an essential part of America in a sense, because it was seen in the movies and these other countries like in the Soviet Union. They were looking at that, all these beaches and stuff, and they had envy. So I believe that part of the demoralization that Yuri Bezmenov talked about was also attacking California.
Yeah, California is definitely a beautiful place, but the governance is destroying it, unfortunately.
Right. And you see, with social media, I think that the Marxists didn't foresee that the social media and the technology we have today is completely exposing all their plans completely because everybody can see it. And it's important for the people of California to vote differently and to not keep voting for these bad policies.
Absolutely. 100%.
And the thing about the lesbian women, it's like, there's like someone like you or me, it's like some woman's going to come in and carry us out.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's just pretty silly to even think that. But, again, there goes that wokeness superseding logic.
Yeah, it's like basically a self-destructive behavior. Also, it's interesting seeing what Zuckerberg was saying and how the government was pressuring them to release that information.
Right, absolutely.
Right. And also, I think that we are winning very well, and I'm glad that you're covering these different topics, and it means a lot to me. And that's all I have to say for this call, ABL. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. But yeah, shout out to my main man, Alien Spaceship, for the call. More certainly appreciate you guys. I think that will be a wrap for me tonight. Y'all know how I do. I'll be back live again on, when am I coming back live? I'm coming back live on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, the inauguration, that's going to be on the 20th. I'll be streaming that. So the inauguration starts, when is that going to be? That's going to be, I think they said that the events begin at 12 noon for the inauguration. I'll be here for that for sure for you guys. And I'm here pretty much every day putting out pre-recorded content. Uncle ABL is back. Uncle ABL is back. I've put out content on there. I put out like 2 or 3 videos so far. So my goal is to put out at least one new video every day, 7 days a week, Sunday through Saturday on Uncle ABL. In addition to what I do right here on the regular channel. Plus, I'm on Rumble with this content, the regular political stuff, ABL content, that'll be on Rumble as well. All right. So find me on Rumble. Keep subscribed here. And also Uncle ABL. My most recent video on Uncle ABL was about this guy who brought some lightsaber chopsticks on a date. I'm like, bro, you're 30-something years old with lightsaber chopsticks. That's not going to get what you want accomplished, okay? That's not going to get it done. So that video's out, and I got a lot more coming out. So y'all be on the lookout for more of those. Getting a lot of good feedback so far on Uncle ABL as I did from the beginning. And I'm not going to start it and then leave you guys on the lurch. I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling with that channel. And I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I think now is the best time. All righty. So that'll be a wrap for me. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday live, but I'm here every day pretty much putting out pre-recorded content. This is also an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I shall pop right on up. All righty. That will be a wrap for me. So I got super chats I need to read. Then I wrap it on up and put the bow on top. Where are we at? Thank you to It's Lanito, who says, Ivan better not get through tonight, and he didn't. Thank you to EJ Uno, who says, I posted video in the chat. If you find it interesting. Well, you can't post links, so I'm not quite sure what the video was, but maybe you can send it to my email. My email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. The email is always on the website. You can find the website right here in the box, or you could just search me. Just search Anthony Brian Logan. I'm easy to find. I'm really easy to find. I'm not difficult to find at all, but find me over there, and then that should be that on that. So that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.